What's going on, Raider Nation? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and I hope that you don't mind. You guys have been seeing me a lot this NFL season, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of me this entire season. Coming up here live on the Raiders Report today is going to be a fun day. I'm going to tell you that right now. I am hoping to make a Patriots fan sweat. I am hoping to make a Patriots fan cry. I am hoping to make a Patriots fan wish that they didn't make the deal that New England was going to beat the Las Vegas Raiders, and we're going to have a lot of fun here on today's program. Now, we do have a jam-packed show. I got 3 segments coming up for you guys today on the Raiders Report. One of the very first shows that I'm going to do today is going to be around the Raiders. I'm going to talk about Pete Carroll, and I'm going to talk about why I think that the Las Vegas Raiders might have dodged a bullet. Some might say they might have dodged 2 bullets, and you'll understand what I have to say. I kind of want to tease this one a little bit because it is going to be something different from some of the shows that I've done in the past. But when you hear what I'm about to talk about, I think a lot of people are going to go, all right, Mitch, I see what you're saying. All right, Mitch, yeah, all right, man, I see what you're saying. The other show that we got coming up here is going to be around the latest Raiders rumors. And I know that Ashton Jeanty averaged 2.0 yards per carry. I have heard it. I have seen it all over social media. I have heard the word bust being thrown out for our number 6 overall pick. I wore this Jeanty shirt today for a reason, and I want to have my guys back, and I hope that a lot of y'all also have Ashton Jeanty's back because I get it. It might not have been the most pretty game, but you want to talk about the ultimate box score watchers, the ultimate box score warriors, the ultimate proof that I didn't watch any of the game. If you throw out 2.0 yards per carry when you're talking about Ashton Jeanty and you use that in the bus conversation, get the f*** out of here, man. Then we're going to be looking at a Week 2 Monday Night Football preview. That's going to be coming up. We'll say 4th thing that we'll do today, we're going to punish a Patriots fan. And then if you want a chance to win some money, it's a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365, though. Soldier Man and Fabian have been on an absolute hot streak. Though you got to win. The only way you can win is by playing, and those 2 play more giggity than anybody else here in the building. Though, I also have been seeing a lot of other conversations about a player on this Las Vegas Raiders team, and I'll get to the super chat from Real Cowboy here in a moment. Is Geno Smith a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? We talk a lot about QBs, obviously, on this channel. Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell. We've gone through the mediocrity of Raiders quarterbacks for what seems almost like a decade. Now we got somebody in Geno Smith. And I was somebody who was honest on the show. I sat up here and I go, when I first saw the trade, I didn't realize how good Geno was. I went back and I watched the film. You go back and you watch every play and you realize how much he's just not appreciated throughout the entire league. And I know it's only one game, but you at least saw a glimpse of what Geno Smith and Chip Kelly looks like, because I think Geno Smith and Chip Kelly, you could make an argument that that combination is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Now, I will still sit up here and go, I'm hoping that he's top 10. I still want to see a little bit more, but it's way more of a conversation now than what it was just a week ago, and I'm happy because I have been somebody that has been, I would say, I don't know if I'm the number one Geno Smith truther around Raider Nation. I don't watch every podcast. I don't listen to other Raiders YouTubers. There's a few guys that obviously I tune into and I listen. Those are my buddies. But at the same time, I do feel like I have been a person that sat up here and said, Raider Nation needs to appreciate number 7 a little bit more. Raider Nation's going to realize how good of a quarterback he is. And I know it was a little bit of a glimpse, but I want to see what you guys have to say. Ronald's going to go with a yes. I also see Ron Raspberry showing love to my man Yoda Jenkins, which Yoda Jenkins, huge MVP yesterday. Jeremy White says yes. And Morales is going to go with a yes. Steve Brown says, not our line. Well, luckily for you, it's not the question I'm being asked here. Real Cowboy's going to go yes. Mark Prosser, Raider Nation 80. E.D. Mason says yes, sir. Raider Tone, absolutely. Lang, Jeff Garcia, Daniel Topchi, Raider Hamai. What up, Marcus? What up, Yoda? Joe, I am seeing a lot of yeses, and I also see a C in there from Marcos as well. Now, to me, I will talk about Geno Smith quite a bit today. I'm going to talk a lot about Ashton Jeanty today, and I want to know what you guys have to say about the Raiders and about this Week 2 matchup. Going into the Chargers, I should also mention that my plan is very, very clear. My plan is to be live this Sunday when the Eagles play the Kansas City Chiefs, and I bring that up because we actually just got some news around that game, and the NFL is suspending Jalen Carter, the Eagles' defensive tackle, 1 game. And, of course, it's against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a $57,000 fine and a 1-game suspension for Jalen Carter, which, again, I think the NFL is going to do what the NFL does best, and they're going to protect the Kansas City Chiefs at all flipping costs. We got 466 people here in the building. I know the Raiders don't play the Chiefs today, but I feel like anytime I mention them on this channel, and FKC is always a really great way to get a shout-out on the program. I got my man John Scheffler, Mount Raidermore in the building. What up, Sheffy? What up, Sheffy? What up, Langs? He said we're going to go 2-0. I'm hoping. Fayez said no suspension. Unfortunately, Jalen Carter, the news has already come out. Suspension happening. And it is what it is. I think that you've just come to learn that that's what the NFL is going to do. They're always going to protect the Kansas City Chiefs. But did the NFL get it right with a 1-game suspension for Carter? Give me a yes. Give me a no. I want to know your thoughts down below. To me, if you're going to suspend Jalen Carter, yes, he did spit on Dak Prescott. But to me, as soon as I saw the video that Dak spit first, the moment I said, sorry, he doesn't deserve a suspension. I fully agree with the fine. I think it was a bad precedent that it set. But I also saw another NFL player, and I forget who it was exactly. There was a player that threw a punch earlier this year. It was an open-hand punch. I think it was in the Chargers game. It was Tart. Tart threw an open-hand punch, and wasn't a fine, no problem, because they said it was an open hand. So in my mind, in the NFL, it's okay for you, open hand, to punch somebody in the face, but it's not okay for you to spit on somebody. Don't get me wrong, both are wrong, but I hate the NFL how it's always one side is this, one side is that, and the one side just always seems to lean whatever way Roger Goodell wants it to lean, which typically Roger Goodell, I feel like, leans towards the Kansas City Chiefs.
And I actually heard the NFL is forcing Jalen Carter to wear a mask the rest of the season.
Stop it. Stop it.
They have a mask mandate on Jalen Carter for the 2025 season, and he has to stay 6 feet away from every other offensive player on the field.
That's unbelievable. I can't. I mean, could you imagine that story if that would have happened around COVID? They might have suspended him for the whole season.
If this happened during COVID,
they would have.
I think he would have gotten a Pete Rozelle or what is it?
Might have been jailed. Actually,
who's the former Reds MLB player?
Pete Rose?
Yes, he would have gotten the Pete Rose treatment.
I was like, I don't know where we're going with this one, man.
We do have some super chats that are rolling in on today's show. The first one was from Real Cowboy.
Oh, wait a second. Are they saying that maybe I misread this? Hang on. Saying it's a 1-game suspension that's been – oh, okay. This is actually interesting. I actually think I read this wrong. I think you guys are right. Okay, so actually he didn't get suspended for the Chiefs game. I actually misread that. That's on me. I apologize. So they are saying that 1-game suspension was already served. So he will be out there for Kansas City.
Yeah, they're saying that the Cowboys game week 1 was his 1-game suspension.
Oh, okay. Honestly, that's good. I totally misread that. Sorry, y'all. We were literally just went live. I read it quickly, and wow, that's awesome. I'm going to delete my tweet now. I know. This is why you don't tweet while you're live getting ready for a show. Hang on. I am having all sorts of problems here.
It's okay. I'm going to keep on going with the super chats. Rebel Montana said, Bears losing isn't as bad as Ravens choking. I don't know.
I mean, both are really flipping bad, man. Like, to me, we were actually talking about a little bit today of, like, coaches on the hot seat. And one coach that I think that there's going to be conversations around is going to be John Harbaugh. And I think it's very similar to the Mike Tomlin conversations that we hear all the time in the studio of, I know John Harbaugh is this amazing coach, and I actually think he's probably a top 10 coach in the NFL. But when you have been as good as what the Baltimore Ravens have been, and you lose a game like that, you have to wonder, you're like, do I have the right guy that can get me over the hump to take down the Buffalo Bills, to take down the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And I think that's going to be the big question there, but I do not disagree with your statement. I agree with the Ravens blowing their lead and the Ravens losing that game the way they did with the players that they have is a bigger eyesore and it's a bigger issue because I personally do not think that Chicago Bears are a Super Bowl caliber team, but I do think that the Baltimore Ravens are a Super Bowl caliber team. So when you see a lead blown like that, yes, Josh Allen is spectacular. J.J. McCarthy really got it going in the third quarter. But Rebel, I agree with you. And actually, it kind of brings us to this question here. Who do you think is more to blame for that Monday Night Football collapse yesterday? Do you think it's Caleb Williams, the quarterback, or is it Ben Johnson, the head coach? And I almost feel like we're having like a little bit of a Derek Carr, Josh McDaniels debate here.
Give me either a QB or an HC in the comments section. QB if you think it's Caleb Williams, HC if you think it's Ben Johnson.
And, I wanted to be able to talk about this. I know this is the Raiders Report, and as always, if you guys want to get your questions, comments on the show, it's hashtag Raiders or Super Chat.
If you want to type BJ in the comments section, you can do that as well.
We will accept BJs as well here on the show. But, we were live last night for Monday Night Football. Shout out to all y'all that pulled up. Seriously, we had 34,000 people here on the Raiders Report, 117,000 over on our main YouTube channel. And, just being able to interact with y'all, talk about the game, it's something that I like to do. But this also kind of leans into one of my conversations that I'm going to have on today's episode. And I know that both are to blame. But who is the more to blame? I'm seeing a lot right now. QB, Caleb Williams. I mean, that's what Austin says. That's what Excavator says. Ron Raspberry says it's on the head coach, Ben Johnson. Raider Nation 80 says Ben Johnson. Jeremy Cole, I will always accept BJ's. Oh, Jeremy, you son of a gun. Let's go to Soul Chef. What up, Soul Chef? ESPN Noti says he is available versus Chip. Yeah, that's on me, guys. I read it as he's getting a one-game suspension. So I thought it was one-game suspension. Like going into the week, they're saying that he already served that one-game suspension. So that's on me. Yes, Jalen Carter is available up against Kansas City Chiefs. That is such good news.
Reminder, Mitch is going to be live for that game.
I am going to be live, which something pretty cool. If you guys want to hang out with me, I know the Raiders play on Monday night. Obviously, I'll be live for that game. I'm also going to be live on our main YouTube channel at noon. We might go live maybe technically for you guys, it would be like 12:30 Eastern. 9:30 a.m. Pacific, and I'll be live doing what we like to call our Chat Sports NFL Red Zone show. So if you've ever watched the Red Zone show, now there's commercial breaks. You can join us here, and there's going to be some commercial breaks with us, but 49ers just released Robbie Chosen. Could be an interesting player the Raiders look at. But I will be doing that NFL Red Zone show, and then I plan on going live about 30 minutes before kickoff for Eagles-Chiefs here on the Raiders Report, and we're going to be rooting for Philadelphia again. Hopefully you guys don't mind, but any opportunity that I can see Kansas City go 0-2, any opportunity that I can see Patrick Mahomes lose 3 games for the first time in his NFL career, I'm going to be live for that event. I hope that you guys don't mind, and I hope that you pull up. Let's go to Giovanni B. What up, Giovanni B? 634 people here in the building. If you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. And Giovanni, this is a new name. Maybe you've joined the show in years past, though you're spamming FKC. I don't know if you know this, Giovanni. You are entered in for a chance to win a signed Ashton Genty helmet. And every $5 super chat that we get in the month of September is a raffle ticket for this signed Ashton Genty Raiders helmet. I do want to just throw that out there. It was good meeting you and members of the nation in Tucson. Genty pass block like a pro. Scored and Dice, I think it's dictated the defense. People don't know ball, FKC. I will fire back here a little bit. I actually don't think that he looked good in pass protection at all. I quite frankly, I actually would like to know where you got that from, because the tape that I saw, one of the very first things that I did, and it's actually one of the reasons why I listed him as a loser for for my Raiders winners and losers is because he obviously didn't get the amount of running lanes that he wanted. Not to blame himself. I got a stat coming up here that's going to blow people's minds. But then also, when I see something, I go look for it. And when I see other places kind of back up that claim, and I don't want to give away some stats that I have saved here on the show, but I do want to be very clear. I wore this Ashton Genty shirt for a reason today because I got Two's back. I think he's been getting a lot of hate out on social media because I get it. People don't watch the game, and they see 19 carries for 38 yards, 2.0 yards per carry, 1 catch for 2, and you got these fantasy football people out there, and don't get me wrong, I love fantasy football, but if you're upset at Ashton Genty, you didn't watch the game, which I think is what you're going with here, so we agree on that statement, but I do not think that he looked good in pass protection, and I am pretty confident that when you see the stats that I have that you're going to agree with me on that. But I'm trying to think of what you were wearing in Tucson because I don't remember meeting anybody in a suit out in Tucson. But I feel bad that I'm trying to come up with this face here in my mind. And I just met so many people, and I never want to sit up here and lie to you. But at the same time, I'm glad that you took time out of your day to come meet me. I appreciate everybody that I was able to meet out there in Tucson. If you showed me what you were wearing, I would hope that I'd be able to put 2 and 2 together. But seriously, dude, every opportunity that I get to meet Raider Nation, it just proves to me time and time again. It's crazy. I got a text message today from somebody from the Black Hole, and this is from my first ever Raiders event. They sent me literally it's pretty freaking crazy. They sent me all these photos from the first time I went out to Oakland in 2019, and it's literally some of the coolest pictures. And, to me, you just meet a lot of people. I'm not a bike rider, but that's what that was. You just meet so many people, and I hope that you guys don't take offense to it that I don't remember everyone, and I'll always be honest when I say that stuff, but I mean this when I say it. The fact that people always come out and pull up, it does, man. It means a lot to me. So today's deals are very simple. They're very straightforward. I'll say this. If you plan on super chatting today, if you plan on banging today, I'm actually going to tell you to wait. And I want you to save it because we're going to play Tune o'clock punishment style for a Patriots fan. And I want y'all to make him cry. I want y'all to make him sweat. Because he thinks that he's pretty confident. He thinks he's a pretty tough guy. We're going to make him do some push-ups. He was even so confident today that Chugs can back me up on this. He did some one-handed push-ups out in the studio out there. I don't know if you saw him do it. He did some one-handed push-ups. He's like, I'm not worried about it. So I said, all right, we'll see how much you're not worried about it. But I know yesterday on Monday Night Football, I asked y'all, how do you want to punish our Patriots guy? And I said, jumping jacks, squats, push-ups. The overwhelming vote in there was push-ups. Now, maybe that's because y'all saw me almost basically shit my pants trying to pump out some push-ups yesterday. But we're going to have some fun today. I'm guaranteeing you this. If you know a Patriots fan, tell them to watch this show because their Patriots guy is going to be sweating. You know how great it is to have a good quarterback? And I hope when people see Geno Smith play, they just can understand and see what an actual good NFL quarterback looks like. And it's not a knock on AOC, right? And that's kind of like the biggest problem that I had last season. It wasn't that I didn't like Aiden O'Connell. I liked Aiden O'Connell, and I think a lot of Raider fans like Aiden O'Connell. But you got to understand what Aiden O'Connell is, right? If you treat Aiden O'Connell like a Lamborghini, but he's just a Honda Civic, and there's nothing wrong with a Honda Civic, but if you're trying to drag race with a Honda Civic, you're just not going to win a lot. And, to me, Aiden O'Connell is good for what he is. Derek Carr, good for what he is. There was a lot of these types of quarterbacks, good for what they are, but if you're legitimately trying to win football games and you have the worst quarterback in a matchup, it's hard to win in the National Football League, man. It really, truly is. What up, Wrong Way? How many weeks do we, Pete's son, get replaced? I don't think Brandon Carroll gets replaced. And the reason why that I say that is because I don't know how many people remember me saying this, but back in November, I sat up here on this show and I said a name that I am hearing a lot is Chip Kelly. I was the very first person. I will stamp my name on that. And I said a name that I am hearing around right now is Chip Kelly. Now, I was hearing Kelly's name in terms more of a head coach when it first started going out there. but Chip Kelly was the name that I was hearing over and over and over again, and then obviously they ended up hiring him as an OC. I bring that up because the source that told me that also did tell me that there have been conversations about Brandon Carroll potentially being somebody that replaces Pete Carroll once he leaves. Now, I don't want to scare people with that statement. I would be unbelievably pissed off if the Raiders gave Brandon Carroll a head coaching gig when you have Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham on your team. I don't even think Brandon Carroll's in the top 5 of guys that I would hire to be that head coach. But I just want to bring that up because I don't think that Brandon Carroll's ever going to be the Raiders head coach. And if it ever happened, I would sit up here right now and tell you that hiring Pete Carroll was a bad move because Brandon Carroll's not going to be good enough to do that job. But I bring that up because there is a reason why I was told that, and I just don't think that they move on from him or fire him. I don't think you're going to see a James Craig situation where halfway through the year we go out and we fire our offensive line coach. I think it's more they're going to work with them, they're going to be patient with them, and if they have to make a change, it's going to be at the end of the season. Let's go to Ryan James. What's up, man? I hate Justin Herbert and his stupid face. Sometimes Super Chats don't need to be anything besides right directly to the point. I feel like it's that, is it Step Brothers, where he's like, something about your face.
Yes.
Something about your face. If you don't change it, I'm going to change it for you. And Herbert, to me, is one of these.
Heard. He says heard.
Heard?
Like he says that to him and he's like, yep, heard.
Heard. Yep, heard. I thought you said turd. I'm like, honestly, yeah, Justin Herbert's kind of a turd. To me, though, like Herbert's one of those quarterbacks where, again, you know that he's got all the talent in the world, but he kind of reminds me a little bit of Derek Carr, where Herbert obviously more talented than Carr. Now, maybe that would have changed if DC didn't get hurt, but I don't think Carr has that killer mentality. Just like I don't really think Justin Herbert has that killer mentality. There's certain games where he's going to be able to shine, but if you're willing to put your life on the line for a Justin Herbert win, you must have 9 lives, my friend. Let's go to Paul. What's going on, Paul? I'm not worried about Genty. I got faith in him. First game, Gino will open the field against the Sparklers. That's hilarious. And Genty will show up. Love all that you do for us. And where do you get them awesome shirts? Well, I've actually been in communication with this shirt company, and there's a reason why I'm not, I'll say this. I've already put that information out into the world, and if you like any of the shirts that I'm wearing, be patient with me for like a week or two because I've been talking to the company. Our company is also talking to that company, and we might be able to get a sponsorship deal with them. And essentially the reason why I'm saying that is we're going to be able to potentially give away some shirts, and we're going to have some discount codes. So if you can be patient for like a week or two, then use the discount code that I give you. Then you're going to be able to save some money, get some awesome Raiders shirts. But my whole Raiders wardrobe, my wife probably hates me because my closet, which, by the way, our closet storage space in my house, it is 85% Alex. I don't know what your breakdown is with you and Danny. It is 85% Alex, and I get 15%. Out of that 15%, I'm going to say like half of it's just random Raider shit.
My clothes are in the guest room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny has 100% of our closet.
I do not doubt it at all, man. Like, there was a time where when Alex and I first moved into the place that we're in now, I had to put – have you been to my place? So our bedroom is on, I don't know, the top floor, and then our guest bedroom is on the bottom floor. I actually had to put all of my stuff on the bottom floor guest room just so I could have some room for my underwear and socks. But bottom line is this. My whole wardrobe now is all Raiders stuff, and you guys are going to be seeing a lot of Raiders stuff out there. Let me know down below, how is your closet space split with your significant other? I'm 85-15. Sounds like Chugs is 99-1.
Yes.
I love it. Let's go to Eric Jones. Sorry, Mitch, but you're tripping. Genty picked up block on a bunch of major plays. Baldy out, enter video, highlight them. I'll go check it out, and I love Baldy. I love his Baldy breakdowns. I will go watch it, but to me, I guess I just got to go see what he has to say. I got to go see what he has to do. I'm not saying that there weren't plays where he did a good job. I am saying, though, there are a lot of plays where he just doesn't do the right thing. To me, when you break down film, I don't think it's fair to break down 1 or 2 plays and say, look, see, he did a good job. Like, you got to look at all the plays. But no disrespect to Baldy. I'm not trying to throw any disrespect. I think what he does is phenomenal work. I will absolutely positively check it out. But Based on what I saw, I didn't like what I saw from Genty in terms of the pass blocking. Some good, but some not so good. Let's go to Herman J. What up, Herman J? Coming from a Miami fan, MFKC. So, are you a Dolphins fan then, Herman? I actually did not know that. I know.
I think he followed me over from Dolphins.
Oh, that's pretty freaking dope.
Because Herman was, whenever I first started here, I was the live guy, so I did a lot of our lives with our old Dolphins host, Willie Finns. And I think Herman followed me over here to the Raiders Report. Love him, though. He always sends me funny videos on IG.
Yeah. All right, Herman, shout out to you, brother. What up, Swingman Lou? Bro is flexing right now. Come on, Swingman Lou. Come on. Dude, if this guy bangs right now, he's going to ruin this whole studio. The offensive line worries me. No protection, no run game. I mean, we got to hire this guy. Let's get him out there at right guard. The offensive line worries everybody. If you come away from that football game and you're not worried about the offensive line, you either only looked at PFF or you didn't watch the game. Like, I don't know if any of y'all have seen the PFF grades on the Raiders offensive line. What do you think it should be? Like, I really anticipated the Raiders run blocking grade to be in like the 30 and 40s. I really, really, truly did. Somehow, it's not even close to that. They are like middle of the pack, apparently. I was blown away by what I saw. But, I think the whole Genty argument goes back to this. Why did you draft a running back at number 6 overall if you didn't do anything to your offensive line? And that's a little bit that's frustrating.
As somebody who watched the Texans game on Sunday, trust me, it could be worse.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw how bad that offensive line was. Now, I'll say this. The Raiders' run-blocking offensive line is worse than the Texans' run-blocking offensive line, I would say. Pass protection, though, I would rather be worse at run-blocking than pass protecting because pass protecting is where you get in a lot of trouble, especially if your quarterback gets hurt. And C.J. Stroud doesn't have any time to throw. AOC isn't a Honda. He's a Pinto. I'm not a car guy, man. I don't know. The first thing that I thought of, we were throwing out old movie quotes, and it was like, you do a lot of drag racing in a Honda, or you do a drag racing in a Prius. He's like, yeah, I don't win a lot. So that's the first thing that came to my mind, but I appreciate it. Raider Tone, I'm fine with drafting Genty at 6. We now have our running back 1, and we can draft O-line and sign a free agent offensive lineman this offseason if we needed to.
The only thing that hurts my soul a little bit
you could
for
have
Raider
done this
Nation,
last year, though.
The only thing that hurts my soul a little bit for Raider Nation is how good Armin Mimbu looked week 1.
I mean, there is a lot of time, obviously. And, again, I loved Armin Mimbu. You guys knew that. I still think Genty was the best prospect overall. But I guess my only concern with what you're saying is, like, if the Raiders thought potentially that they could go the Ashton Genty route, wouldn't you want them to, with the most – they had all this money in salary cap space, and they said, we'll go out and we'll get Alex Kappa. To me, that is worrisome because if you thought that this was a possibility, I don't understand how you're planned and say, okay, let's do Alex Kappa then. I am hoping that we go forward and we address that offensive line. And, I had a question yesterday on Monday Night Football, and I talked about it a little bit. I think it's a possibility. Like, with Dylan Parham in the final year of his contract, DJ Glaze, based on what I've been hearing, there's some potential that he's not he maybe not the right tackle for the future. Maybe they decide to move him inside a little bit. There's still some question marks around JPJ with this franchise. But to me, the offensive line has to be better. And I think we all would agree with that. Let's go to Richard. Mitch, got to watch the Baldy breakdown on T. Booker. Oh, I already saw some highlights on Thomas Booker. And to me, I think when you see, and it's why I said when the trade first happened, I said it wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles win the trade and if the Raiders win the trade because Booker's going to help out the Raiders more than Bennett would have helped out the Raiders, and Bennett's going to help out the Eagles more than Bennett would have helped out the Raiders. So I did see the Baldy breakdown on Thomas Booker. That's actually, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or not, but then I ended up tweeting out because I saw Booker has a brand new profile pic with him in a Raiders jersey, 99. So my rabbit hole this morning was Baldy breakdown to Thomas Booker Twitter. So I saw that one, but I mean, Booker looks good. He looks explosive. He looks like somebody that you want to see at defensive tackle next to an Adam Butler. freeing up a lot of these other guys on the outside. I mean, to me, there's a reason why Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Kuntz, and Max Crosby all had a sack. Let's go to Mando Ace. What possible reason did the move Meredith to center when he has no experience? Why not put JPJ at left guard? He should be next to Colton Miller. Based on what I've been told, it is they like Meredith from an ability standpoint up here, and they weren't confident that JPJ was going to be able to do it from a up here standpoint. I'll leave it like that. From a left guard, I think maybe they were just a little bit happier with Dylan Parham at left guard compared to JPJ. To me, though, the way that I look at it is who's a better offensive lineman, Dylan Parham or Jackson Powers-Johnson? I personally think that Jackson Powers-Johnson is a better offensive lineman than Dylan Parham. So if I think that and I feel that way, the way that I would set up my offensive line is I would put JPJ at right guard because I would want him next to DJ Glaze, a second-year guy, and I would want the help from JPJ to make DJ Glaze better, to make Jordan Meredith better. Where on that left side, I'm just so confident in Colton Miller that, in my mind, Parham's just got to worry about his guy, and he's got to worry about Meredith. Miller's able to be good enough on an island, so I think they put JPJ at right guard to help out DJ Glaze because I really think that they do believe that he's the second-best offensive lineman. At least that's my thought process. What up, Knight? I got a feeling Besh is set up for a sneaky good game. If this ends up being a shootout, what do you think ceiling on score? I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be a lot of points put up, and I think you kind of saw the Chargers' MO. They want to sling the rock. They want to get the ball out quickly, and I think one of their offenses right now is predicated on really getting that ball out quickly because of Rashawn Slater being banged up, and the Raiders are obviously going to chuck the rock a ton. To me, this is going to be whatever the over is, you bet the over in this game. I think both teams could score in the high 20s, low 30s, quite frankly, but Jack Besh, to me, I don't know what the ceiling is because he's a good blocker. You saw he got a catch for 18 yards in that last game. But the only way Besh has a big impact in this game is if the Brock Bowers injury is a lot more serious. And I only throw that out there. Like for me on Prize Picks this week, I am hammering everything Jacoby Myers on the more because you could see Bowers just like take it slow this week. And if he's a little bit slower in the game plan, that means there are going to be a lot more practice plays around Jacoby, a lot more practice plays around a Michael Mayer. Prize Picks lineups this week, those are two guys that I am hammering on Prize Picks. Let's go to Blake Dufresne. Mitch, no sponsor bias. Got a good fat burner pre-workout.
Thing is, Blake, it's not a bias. This is what we use. It's Panda Subs.
I've actually heard bad things on Alpha Lion and Ripper. I'll be very honest. I've actually heard like it's not good for your body. Though one of the reasons why I like Panda Subs is because their stuff for me, it works. And I know everybody's going to be different. And I think like when you find workout supplements, if it works for you, go with it, rock it, do with what works for you. But I also look at a lot of stuff at how it impacts my health. And for me, I like Panda Subs because it just as always has worked well with my body. Obviously, we're on air a lot. We're doing a bunch of different stuff. But what I don't like thermogenics or fat burners that make my heart feel like it's going to come through my chest. I also drink a lot of caffeine. With Alpha Lion and Ripper, I have not heard very good things about them. But again, I got a few friends that are doctors that wouldn't recommend them. Let's go to Space Jam 2. Can we talk about how Jamal Adams balled the F out? 90.9 PFF grade, the highest Raider in week 1. Now, I don't want people to just look at whatever PFF says and says, hey, this guy did X, Y, Z. But I do agree with you that Jamal Adams played his freaking balls off. And I am looking at a lot of the statements that I made about Jamal being a bad move, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Robert Spillane talk that I had where I was like, I don't think Robert Spillane's going to be all that good. And Spillane was like, double birds to you, Mitch, right? And right now Jamal Adams is kind of doing the same thing. He brings the energy. He brings the spark. It's almost funny because I had a conversation with a Raider fan out in Tucson. I was like, I think we're kind of hoping Jamal Adams turns out to be what we were hoping Jonathan Abram was. And if you think about the timeline, the Raiders drafted Jonathan Abram in 2019. He would be right now around 29 years old. So let's just say we drafted Jamal Adams at that 27th spot, and he's still panning out for us because that's the role that this team, I think, has kind of been looking for, a safety linebacker hybrid that can get north and south, that can go east to west, and Jamal Adams has looked really flipping good this year. What up, Rebel? Rebel wins by doing nothing, a.k.a. Fantasy Luigi. Yeah, I lost to Nab, man. I lost to the high scorer. Alex was the high scorer in our Friends League. My Uncle Wayne was the high scorer in my family league. Nabman was the high scorer in our Raiders Report League. L ticket. L ticket. I'm 0 for 3, week 1. Brutal. Jersey boy, I'm still annoyed that the Raiders didn't draft Will Johnson in the second. Seeing him play yesterday confirms my frustration with the cornerback room.
I agree. Him being there in round 2 and the Raiders not trying to get up and get him. I know you got Jack Besh.
There was some medical concerns there.
But, dude, he looks awesome.
I mean, when healthy, he's incredible. And I agree with you. Like, if I could have taken Will Johnson or Jack Besh, obviously I'd go Will Johnson. I think anybody that watched my show knows that was true. But at the same time, like, we got to be able to give Kai Blue Kelly his flowers because Kai Blue Kelly looks incredible to me. And, I talked about it yesterday on Monday night where I almost wish the Raiders would go out and add another corner, and then you could potentially put Kai Blue in that nickel spot and have him be that, just get Darnay Holmes freaking off the football field. I can't even imagine how he's still getting reps. He's just so bad. And, you put Kai Blue Kelly in this, like, outside, inside role, this tweener role. You let Eric Stokes be the other corner, and then you still need to add somebody else. To me, we are at least a safety cornerback short. I know this team played well, but let's also not kid ourselves. Josh McDaniels is a clown of an offensive coordinator without Tom Brady, and the New England Patriots don't have the most talented wide receiver room. We're about to go up against the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that, they exploited Kansas City. And the Chargers in week 1, if you like fantasy football points, there is not a team that had more fantasy football production from the wide receiver position than the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go to Canelo. What up, man? Appreciate you tuning into the show. Since we have Geno this season, and depending on how the season goes, do you still draft a quarterback next season? No. I don't see why you would. Again, now, you might be talking to the wrong guy. I am a Geno Smith believer, and you went out, you traded for Kenny Pickett, so he's going to be your backup quarterback. The Raiders are in win-now mode, so drafting a quarterback. Now, maybe, like, if you want to draft the QB late in the draft, maybe, like, that's an argument that you could give, but I personally do not think that it makes any sense for the Raiders to draft a quarterback. And if anything, the earlier picks should be offensive line, cornerback, maybe a receiver if you don't bring back Jacoby Myers. There's going to be a lot of those types of conversations. Ryan, what's up, man? Yoda might have had a great day yesterday, but I beat him in fantasy, so that's all that I'm happy about. Ryan Campbell, that's right, man. You talk that shit. You talk that shit, Ryan. Nah, man, I love it. So, coming up here on today's show, let's talk about the Raiders potentially dodging a bullet. And if you want to get into this duck race, reminder, it is a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz, 365. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Victor Lobos, you in. I see Joe Jimenez in. Oh, boy. Soldier Man up in that O. You in right now. Charles G, I got you. Right now it is a $20 Venmo. You would go home as it stands with $40. But
right.
I know this pot's going to get a little bit bigger.
I was going to go to the segment, but we have one more super chat. Mount Raider more, so we got to go.
I got you. What up, Patrick B, my brother? Mitch, Raider Nation took over Gillette. All you could hear was, Raiders. I used to live in Boston. Boston people love snow, and they are very proudful people when it snows. But when it rains, I was blown away by how soft some people were up there in Boston when it would rain. And as soon as I saw the forecast, I remember talking to my dad on the way to the game, and I'm like, there's going to be a lot more Raider fans there. They're going to be loud. They're going to be rowdy. It was awesome to watch week 1. I'm glad you guys were out there supporting. But I think the Patriots fan base is one of the more spoiled fan bases. Obviously, they did all this winning, and now, they're just not winning as much. And I got a few Patriots friends that are not nearly as loyal now as what they were back in the Tom Brady days. So if you can't hang out with us when we're 4-13, don't hang out with us when we go 9-8, right? So coming up here on today's show, we're going to talk about how I think that the Raiders dodged a bullet, maybe even two. The latest Raiders rumors. I'm going to talk about Ashton Genty. I'm going to talk about some NFL power rankings. And then a certain player has been linked to the Las Vegas Raiders. I will get into my Week 2 Monday Night Football preview. We're going to punish a Patriots fan. And then I will do a duck race. It is a full show on tap. I don't know if you saw Texans defensive tackle Tommy DeGuy, one-year extension. Cool. All right, so coming up, let's get into how I think that the Raiders dodged two different bullets. And again, if you plan on banging today, save it for this. I want y'all to make our Patriots fan here, our Patriots host at Chat Sports, I want y'all to make them throw up. I'm not kidding when I say it. When you see the deal, the tuna clock deal that he agreed to for push-ups, I want you to make them throw up. Save all the bangs. Save it all for right here. It's going to be absolutely, positively electric. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Y'all ready to go? First segment coming up here on the Raiders Report. I'm going to talk about how I think that the Raiders dodged a bullet, maybe two. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, the Las Vegas Raiders not only dodged one bullet, I think that the Las Vegas Raiders dodged two bullets based on what I saw after NFL Week 1 action. Now, some of you might be going, Mitch, what the heck are you talking about dodging bullets? Well, luckily for you, I'm going to tell you the first bullet that they dodged, and then I'm going to tell you the second bullet that they dodged. The first bullet is this. How many people out there, me, remember that Ben Johnson was the number one head coach that the Las Vegas Raiders were after? Tom Brady wanted him. I wanted him. I think if you were to ask a lot of people around Raider Nation, who was your number one head coach that you wanted? I think a lot of people would say Ben Johnson. Johnson decided to pick the Chicago Bears over the silver and black. I went live on the Raiders Report to talk about it because we were trying to figure out what exactly is going to be our next move. Obviously, because Ben Johnson goes to Chicago, we dodged the bullet and we end up getting Pete Carroll. Because now I'll tell you this, and I even been saying this all off season, I am so happy that the Raiders hired Pete Carroll because you brought in Chip Kelly, because you're able to keep Patrick Graham, because you're able to get Geno Smith for a third-round pick. If you don't bring in Pete Carroll, you don't have Geno Smith. And I know this, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, or Ben Johnson, I'm going to take Geno Smith and Pete Carroll every single day of the week, twice on Tuesday when you add Chip Kelly into that mix. So to me, hiring Pete over Ben Johnson is one of the biggest reasons why, first off here, I think the Raiders did dodge a little bit of a bullet. And it's not a knock on Johnson, but if you watch that Chicago Bears Monday Night Football game, it was an ultimate collapse. Caleb Williams looked like a freaking world beater in the first quarter of that game. And then after that, it was almost like the Monstars swooped in, stole all of his talent, sucked it right out of him, and they gave it to J.J. McCarthy. But if you're a Raiders fan sitting up here going, you know what, Mitch? You were right. I did want Ben Johnson, but I am super flippin' happy that we have the 73-year-old Pete Carroll who's about to celebrate his 74th birthday on Monday Night Football, and we're going to be going crazy. If you're happy that Pete is our head coach, I want you to hit that like button because it is clear to me that we are moving in the right direction. Good teams find ways to win ugly games. Bad teams and bad head coaches find ways to win, lose, winnable games. And Ben Johnson's team found a way to lose that game somehow. Let's go to the second reason here why the Raiders dodged that bullet. How many times this week leading up to it with the Josh McDaniels talk did I talk about it? Did y'all talk about it? Second half adjustments. The Chicago Bears were horrendous in the second half, and they were outscored. They gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter. I remember at one time it was total yards. It was like 164 to -1. You can have all the X's and O's. You can be a great play caller, but not everybody is built to be a head coach. We had the Josh McDaniels conversations. There are people that can go out there and call X's and O's. Chip Kelly. I don't know if Chip Kelly's built to be a head coach, though. And I look at that Ben Johnson game. I look at that Chicago Bears game, and I'm going, I don't know. Ben Johnson's built to be a head coach. Let's go to the next reason here. The poor clock management. Chugs and I were sitting up here live on Monday Night Football saying if you're Chicago, either you got to kick this field goal because you want to do something before the 2-minute warning. What ends up happening? Poor clock management. The Bears don't have enough time to go down the field, and it's something that, really ate away at Andy Reid when he was early with the Philadelphia Eagles. I get it's why now he's with the Kansas City Chiefs, but good head coaches are always in control of the game. And when you are at a disadvantage at head coach, it might not always show up in the box sheet, but we dealt with it with Antonio Pierce. We dealt with it with Josh McDaniels. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, we dealt with it with John Gruden. We finally have a head coach that every time he walks out there on the field, you sit back and you go, I think we might have the best head coach on the field. The final reason, being disciplined. Chicago committed 12 penalties for 157 yards. And I can remember some of the early Josh McDaniel games. I can remember even some of the AP games where the early McDaniels games, they were just getting thrown so much information that when you're thinking, sometimes you just don't react and you're just not ready for the moment. And you saw that at times with Chicago. With Antonio Pierce, he was trying to be all buddy and trying to be a nice guy, though he's been talking hella trash this week. And again, AP, I see you, and I don't appreciate you saying the things that you're saying about this Raiders team right now, especially if you're claiming to be a Raider. But when you think about the way AP coached, he was trying to be all buddy, and I sat up here on this show, and I said I had multiple Raiders players tell me that AP wasn't critical enough, and a lot of mistakes happened, a lot of mental mistakes happened. Yeah, the Raiders obviously committed their own penalties, but Ben Johnson looked in like he was in a little bit over his head. I get it's his first start, but when you see that Monday Night Football game, if you're a Bears fan, you're going, oh no, is Ben Johnson a bad hire? So here's my question to all of y'all again. We asked this, I don't know how many times this offseason, and this is going to be the pinned comment here on today's program, which means I want you to answer this, either PC or BJ. Who's the better head coach? If it's the Raiders head coach, give me some Pete Carrolls. If it's the Bears head coach, give me some BJs. For the first time ever, I am turning down a BJ, and I am going for the PC. Pete Carroll, to me, is the guy that I want as my head coach because of everything that he brings to the table, but it's also, he's the perfect head coach for the Raiders because not only does he demand respect, he also is building this thing in the right way, and when you build something with somebody that's done it before with multiple different organizations and the NFL and in college, you kind of buy into it a little bit more. And I think for the first time in a long time, the Raiders have a head coach that every single player goes, you know what? That's something I'm going to buy into because you didn't have it with Antonio Pierce. You definitely didn't have it with Josh McDaniels. And you also didn't have it with John Gruden. You have the buy-in, and it's very, very clear that the Raiders are buying in. Coming up next here on the show, let's get into the second bullet that the Raiders were able to dodge, and I'm really going to test my real ones out there because I'm really going to make you put that thinking cap on, and we're going to hop a little bit back in that time machine. Before I get into that, though, today's show sponsor, Prize Picks. Wait until y'all see my brand new lineup. I am really excited to be able to show you, and hopefully I get another dub this week. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Now, I like to do flex play, so I want to say this. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So last week, I had a $20 lineup for $364. I ended up winning $40 because I did a flex play. Here is my lineup this week. I should mention Travis Kelce is right now their deal that they got going on, and he needs basically just a one receiving yard. Ashton Genty, Geno Smith, Jacoby Myers. You can also see on there with Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey. I got some mores. I got some lesses. This is a $10 lineup to win $100. And if I get 5 out of 6, I get 20. If I get 4 out of 6, well, I get $4, which you guys can see on screen. And if you want to roll with that lineup, I am hoping that you download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's go to the second bullet that the Las Vegas Raiders dodged this offseason, and I'm talking about Mike Vrabel, because Mike Vrabel was the very first head coach that the Raiders were interested in early this offseason. And when you think about all the rumors that ended up happening, it's kind of crazy how New England fired Gerard Mayo and instantly Mike Vrabel was there. But if you follow this show, you'll know that Tom Brady has been hunting down Vrabel to be the Raiders head coach. He was doing that, well even before they hired Antonio Pierce. Once they fired AP, Vrabel was the very first person that they wanted. Once Vrabel ended up taking the job in New England, then they end up going to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson ends up taking the job with the Chicago Bears. Then the Raiders end up getting Pete Carroll. I'm happy that he was our third option because right now, if you were to ask me, would I want Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, or Ben Johnson? I'm going to take Pete Carroll. And it's not only because of what Pete brings to the table, but you have to also consider everything else that goes into the equation because we're looking at another football team. And I get it. Vrabel is somebody that's going to motivate people. And When I talked about Vrabel a lot, I used to bring up Antonio Pierce and Vrabel because they're both, linebackers. They're both like FU type of buckle up the chin strap guys, and they say all the right things and they get you hyped up. But if you can't make the proper adjustments, then you're not going to win football games. And New England failed to make the second half adjustments. And just like Ben Johnson, Vrabel's going to figure it out. He was a one-time, coach of the year, and I do think that Vrabel is a good head football coach. But at the exact same time, if you're sitting back going right now and you're going, I would rather have Pete Carroll than Mike Vrabel, that's a dodged bullet. If you're sitting back going, I'd rather have Pete Carroll instead of Ben Johnson, that's a dodged bullet. But the last and final reason of why I think I am very, very happy that the Raiders decided to go this route. Well, actually, before I tell you that, I want to give a special shout out to our Monday MVPs. And I know I was here yesterday, and it was one of my longest days I've ever had at Chat Sports after a Raiders game day. I got in here at about 7:30. I didn't really get home until about 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. It's a long day, and I plan on doing that all Monday. I bring that up because, mentally, when I show up on a Monday and I know I'm going to get into that long of a day, I'm hoping that you guys pull up, and I'm hoping that you guys show love. So I would say the top 5 MVPs from yesterday's show, from the early Raiders Live and our Monday Night Football show. Special shout out to Yoda Jenkins, Trifle and Jerk, Jerry Danley, the Night Devil, and my guy A-Train was going wild yesterday. Seriously. And there's so many other people, and I mean this, but when you guys do the shit that you do, it makes my Mondays so much better. It makes every single time I go live here so much better. And if you guys want to get more shout-outs on the show, make sure you pull up to every single live show that we do because we're going live a whole lot more. Also, a very, very special shout-out to Noah Suavemente, which I knew I forgot something. No, I had a picture for you, so that's on me. But Noah, everything you did yesterday also on our main channel, bro. Seriously, bottom of my heart. Greatly, greatly appreciate the nation and everything you guys do for us here. Let's go to the final reason here of why I think the Raiders dodged that second bullet. And I've kind of mentioned it, a few times today, but the coaching hires. Mike Vrabel ended up hiring Josh McDaniels. Ben Johnson, I don't even remember who the hell he ended up hiring, but if you don't hire Pete Carroll, you don't have Geno Smith. And hiring the right people matters, right? Like Luke Getsy compared to Chip Kelly. Come on, man. It is like dating a supermodel compared to dating your brother, right? I mean, it's just totally different. Josh McDaniels, I think, is going to ruin Drake May. When you have certain players and you don't have the right coordinators paired with them, it just doesn't look as good. Drake May with Josh McDaniels, it's not going to be a good combination. But you see the combination of Geno Smith and Chip Kelly and how awesome of a marriage that is. And then I don't know if you get Chip Kelly. I don't know if you're able to retain Patrick Graham unless if you would have hired somebody else. I think you ended up keeping Patrick Graham and you were able to go out and get Chip Kelly because I think both of those coaches look at that job and going, well, Pete's about to be 74. He's not going to be around forever. So if I stick with this Raiders team and we win football games, I might have an opportunity to be a head coach. So from a head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator standpoint, I legitimately think the Raiders have one of the best coaching staffs in the National Football League. And it showed up in NFL Week 1 action. So in conclusion, I believe the Las Vegas Raiders dodged not one, but 2 bullets by hiring Pete Carroll and not getting Ben Johnson and not getting Mike Vrabel. And I say that because looking at where the Raiders are now and looking how that Week 1 game went, the Raiders made proper adjustments and they won an ugly game. That's what good teams do. The Patriots did not make adjustments. The Bears did not make adjustments. And if we don't have Pete Carroll, I really don't think we have Geno Smith. For all those reasons, I am happy Pete's our head coach, and that's why we dodged 2 bullets. Let's go to some super chats here from Drew. What's going on, Drew? There is a 3-year window with Pete. Not worried about Genty. Plenty of time for him to learn how to pass block better and fix the O-line and run blocking. And, I agree with you that there is plenty of time. When you draft a running back at number 6 overall, I expect him to be able to do everything in a complete picture. But to me, sometimes I just think that the national media at times, certain guys say things and people take it for gospel where, what's his name? I'm trying to think of what's his name. Chris Sims, I think, the other day. I think I saw Chris Sims today talking about Genty, and he was like, I just don't think that he looked very good. I was like sitting there at Chris. I'm like, what runs did you see? Because if you saw his last 16 runs, sure. I didn't think that he looked very good either. But if you looked at his first 3 runs where he popped those off for 22, you saw the burst, you saw the explosion, you saw the vision, you saw the physicality. Like, I don't know how you look at those first 3 runs. You're like, I don't think it looks very good. You know, like to me, I think Chris Sims is one of those guys in this industry that he's obviously well respected. But just because somebody says something or this guy says something, like I want people to make up their own mind. I want people to be able to judge it by their own eyeballs. And there is nobody on the planet that's going to watch more Raiders stuff, that's going to do more Raiders content than us here on this channel. But I agree with you. It's a 3-year window, still plenty of time to learn. I just think it's more of a frustration standpoint because there's a lot of Raiders fans, including myself, that's going, well, I kind of thought this was going to happen. And when you tell somebody something over and over and over again, and they're like, no, we'll be okay, and then it happens, there's like that little devil over your shoulder that's kind of want to be like, I told you so. And I'm just going to speak for myself because I think there's other Raider fans that feel the same, where it was never doubting Ashton Genty's talent. It was, why are we going to draft a running back if our offensive line isn't fixed? And that's kind of the issue that we're dealing with right now, where it's like, well, I'm not really surprised what I saw. I didn't think it'd be that bad. But if the Raiders are surprised on what they saw, then I think they need to do a little bit more homework on some of the players that they got. Let's go to Okra. What up, man? Put me down for a chance at the helmet. You got 2 shots. By the way, you won me over on the play-by-play. Awesome job. Just giving credit where credit is due. I hope that you were watching our Raiders play-by-play. Obviously, I just know the Raiders a lot better, but we put a lot of time, we put a lot of effort, into everything that we do here. And I don't say it as like a F you to a lot of these other Raiders content creators out there. There's a reason why the Las Vegas Raiders, outside of the Dallas Cowboys, have the most content creators in the world. And I like to believe I'm a big part of that, Like, I would imagine that there was young kids back in 2018 seeing, shit, that guy, I can do what that guy's doing. And I'll be real, you can do what I'm doing, right? But I think what separates us is the amount of time, the amount of effort, the commitment to excellence that we have in our craft. And it's not a knock on other people. It's just me being confident. And there's a reason why we're the #1 most watched Raiders show for the last 7 years. There's a reason why we have 201,000 subscribers. Nobody does what we do, and if there was a competition around Raiders talk, I'm running laps around any single person you put up against me. It's not even close. Let's go to Ryan James. ESPN has us 3.5-point dogs. Honestly surprised not more after the way the Chargers played in Brazil, but let's get Herbert flustered, throwing up air balls for us to snag. Turnovers will win the game. Ryan, is there any way when we talk about the Raiders-Chargers preview, it's going to be a big one. I want to put this up on screen because, Ryan, we're thinking the exact same way. We're thinking the exact same way. And I'll try to do my best. I'll also try to do my best, Ryan, to get you up on that. But there was a part in the show, and I literally always talk about Justin Herbert as 2 different people. Because I think Justin Herbert, to me, is also very much like Derek Carr, where there's some games you watch Herbert, and you're like, this guy is unbelievable. Just like you'd watch DC, you'd be like, this guy's unbelievable. And then you're like, literally, it's like 3 plays later, you're like, there's no way that that's the same guy. It's kind of like the Caleb Williams effect yesterday, right? Like Caleb in that first quarter looked unbelievable. J.J. McCarthy looked terrible. Flip of a switch, you're going to have those ebbs and flows. I know what the ebbs and flows look like to Justin Herbert. And when you kind of hit him that little bit of a gut punch to his confidence, he does not look like a good quarterback, and that's what I want to do, wreck his confidence. Let's go to Nav. What up, brother? I find it wildly predictable how many fans on Pete Carroll's junk now that spoke nothing but down on him before, receipts taken, not you, Mitch. I don't actually remember ever saying, like, I didn't like Pete Carroll as a hire. I mean, I will say this. I did call Pete Carroll the most risky hire the Raiders could do. That's a show that I did. My whole reason behind that was going, well, the Raiders have failed finding one head coach. Essentially, hiring Pete Carroll means you have to get 2 hires, right? Because he's 73, about to be 74 years old. But, Pete Carroll is just one of those guys that he's going to have his team ready to play. And I think that sometimes people just forget how important it is to just have your guys ready to go every single week. And when you just have a franchise that does that and has their team prepared, it's a good feeling. And again, the Raiders didn't play well. Like, think about that. Think about the Raiders did not bring their A game. I don't even think they brought their B game. And they were still able to win on the road. Yes, it's against a Patriots team that wasn't very good last season. But if Antonio Pierce is the head coach, we lose that game. If Josh McDaniels is the coach, we lose that game. If John Gruden is the coach, we lose that game. In my personal opinion, right? Like, and there's always going to be a lot of the what knows, and we don't know how it could have went. But it just feels good that we finally have a head coach and we finally have a quarterback that gives us a chance to win every single week, and it feels good. Also, Nav, you did kick my ass in fantasy football. I respect the hell out of it that you didn't rub it in my face with your first super chat today. I believe our deal was if you beat me in fantasy, I got to join your live show. We'll try to map out a time for that to be able to happen. I am a man of my word. I will be able to join the show. It can't be this weekend because Alex, she literally got back into town like 30 minutes ago, so I'm going to be with her all week this week. But maybe next weekend we could do something like that. I'll join the stream. What up, Damon? Ashton's block game was underappreciated. I guess I'm just going to have to go back and watch the tape. You know, to me, it was not good. Like, I'm not saying that he was a disaster. He failed. I think I got a stat that's, again, I don't want always to go by certain stats, but when you see certain things and it aligns, you got to go, all right, well, that makes sense a little bit. But they threw a lot of different things at Genty. I think the other thing that we just got to realize is that field, how wet it was. I mean, it's really hard, I think, to block when you're on a surface that is that sloppy, that wet, especially when you're not a professional blocker going up against New England, and they were sending blitzes. And, like, to me, the tape that I watched on Genty was more of, like, blocks that I expect him to make. There's at times where you got linebackers, defensive ends, blitzing Genty in the wet game. You know, like, that's hard to ask your running back to be able to do it. People expect it because he's Ashton Genty and he was drafted number 6 overall. But there were some good. I just want to see more out of the blocks that I expect him to make. Because when you draft a running back number 6 overall, I expect him to be a bell cow. And to be a bell cow, I need more production. I need improvement in the pass blocking game. Let's go to Blinky. Genty also blocks for pass as well. Gets the explosive runs. Like he's got a touchdown. Hell yeah, I'm happy with him at 6. I wore this shirt because the amount of shit I saw around Ashton Genty, I was like, I'm standing up for Deuce today. And literally, I thought of how many different segments could I do around Genty, and I found an article. I'm going to rip this person a new butthole a little bit here in a little bit, so get ready for that one. But to me, I just want people to realize, take a breath. Like, the ultimate week 1 overreaction is calling Ashton Genty a bust. Because if you are, you didn't watch the game. And that's how I'm going to leave it. You didn't watch the game if you're calling Ashton Genty a bust after week 1. So, Blink, you're on the same page. What up, Robert? Back from my honeymoon. Congrats, man. Was able to watch the game Sunday. God would be the cheating Patriots and Josh McDummy. Let's go Raiders. You know, hopefully you had an amazing honeymoon. You know, for me personally, I'm not going to do what Chugs is doing. Yeah, for me, it was so cool to be able to, like, turn my mind off, to only focus on Alex, and really to just be able to just be in that moment with her. Yeah. They're going to come in before the next segment. Okay. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to be bringing in our Patriots fan here a little bit earlier than I anticipated. So we'll go through some Super Chats, and then once our Patriots guy is ready to come in here, I hope y'all are ready. I want you to make them cry. Let's go to Richard Black. What up, man? O-line is main issue on shit show on Genty. Completely agree. He can't make the hole and run the damn ball. Put me in for the second on the helmet. 2 raffle entries in for the Ashton Genty helmet. And I have a stat, Richard, and I don't want to give it away. I've said it a few times already yesterday on Monday Night Football, but there is a certain stat that I have. You know what? F it. He had 44 yards after contact and 38 rushing yards. I literally don't know if I've ever heard of anything like that before. Right, where I think that's like one of the easiest stats to prove how bad this offensive line was and how much work Genty had to do just to get to the line of scrimmage, right? Like, it's so difficult, and it's just not appreciated when, I mean, if you're that running back and you're literally running into defensive lineman, like, right from the jump, you're sitting there going, Jesus, like, it kind of gets into your head a little bit, and I don't blame Genty for maybe not thinking about trying to break that deep ball. I think in that game, with how wet it was in those field conditions, you're getting hit in the backfield. Your number one thought is, I don't want to fumble the football in this game. So I think for Genty to do what he did, I get it. The numbers weren't good, But at the same time, like, let's appreciate a rookie running back not putting the ball on the ground when he's getting hit in the backfield every single flipping time. Like, his last 16 carries, I don't think that there's a single run based on the tape that I saw. I don't know if there's like a single run where Genty doesn't meet a defensive lineman like within that first yard and a half. And you look at Saquon Barkley last season, his year, he was averaging 3 yards before first time he was getting contact. If you give Genty 3 yards to that bowling ball body, he's averaging 5 yards per carry, man. Richard Black, I appreciate you. Let's go to the next one. What up, Gunny? What's up, fam? What did I miss? I was really happy to see second half adjustments, something we haven't had for a long, long time. Luckily, Gunny, you are here at the right time because we are about to punish our Patriot fan. Let's go to Ox the Boss. If we can get Genty and our running game going, this team will be another level, make the Raiders. Yeah, I'm hoping the Raiders are a good football team, but I agree with you. Like, if we can get our running game going, it's going to open up this offense to a whole nother level. Now, the moment y'all have been waiting for. You all right?
Yep, of course I am.
So for those that do not know or do not follow me on social media, I made a deal with Alper. He is the host of our Patriot show. And I said, if the Patriots lose, you got to pull up here on Tuesday and you get punished. Now, if the Raiders would have lost, I would have to go on his show on Wednesday and the exact same thing, a punishment. This is something that I would like to try to be able to do every single week if the Raiders get a dub. So hopefully a lot of punishments happening. We're going to play a game here. And I hope that you enjoy this game. It's something called Tuna Clock, and it goes out to the great, great Tuna, R.I.P. to him.
R.I.P.
Here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Okay? 2 minutes on the clock. Every $5 super chat that comes in, you owe me a push-up. Every $20 super chat that comes in, you owe me 5 push-ups. Every 100, 25, and I'll move here.
Yep.
If we get a 500, you owe me 100 push-ups and a boot. I don't care if you do the boot first or if you do the boot last.
It'll be last.
I will let you decide. So as soon as we get that clock up, I will send Alper over to the push-up position, and we will get ready to get this thing going. Do you have any words for Raider Nation?
So I will say that it was a good game. It was a very good game. But you said, Mitch, that you are a man that you would do the same bet. Well, I was informed that for week 1 last year, you made a bet with our CEO, James Yoder. And you have yet to pay off the bet.
Let me see it here. So now that you bring this up,
we got the evidence.
I do remember this, though. To my credit, I did say it's because I had a bad knee and I can't do it. So,
and we're gonna bring over Mr. James Yoder.
Well, if we're talking about deals that are owed, Yoder also owes a boot on this show. So I'll say this: I will run my 5K.
There it is.
I will run my 5K. I can't.
10K.
Is it 10K?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will. How many miles is 10K?
It's 6.5 or so.
6.5 miles. I will run 6.5 miles either this weekend or next weekend. My knee, I just got to rest up my knee for honestly probably a good 2 weeks is what I'd have to do.
I got a bad knee too, so
I that's why I couldn't do it last year. But since we're talking about bets and deals, James, since I got you here, you do owe a boot. So I will do my run. But what is your statement on the boot that you owe Raider Ron?
Look, I talked to Alper. We meet. We talk about high-level things, and he told me about what's going on. You're going to try and make him puke. And I said Mitch was going to puke when he wasn't going to be able to run this 10K. I thought Mitch was a man of his word. He clearly is not. So how can he hold you accountable for your word? I think you need to call this entire thing off. I think Mitch should have to run the 10K before Alper has to do anything for Raiders. That's my opinion. Now, I'll do the boot, but I think the debt needs to be paid off before the second one. It's like that debt is superseding the boot debt. I'm just saying.
I'll say this.
I do think if
I haven't bought you the jersey.
If I can weigh in here, I do think Mount Raidermore trumps all with the bets because I would say Mount Raidermore and Raider Ron. It's not your debt isn't to Mitch. It's actually to Raider Ron.
Very true.
I don't get it.
He's the one that sent the money for you to do the boot. So technically, that has nothing to do with Mitch. So do you want to say something to Raider Ron into the camera right now?
No.
Because Raider Ron feels very disrespected by you, James. Raider Ron sent in a ton of money, and it seems like you're kind of backing away
So
from
here's
him.
what I'll say to Raider Ron.
He's watching right now, so just let you know.
Ron, we are doing a wall of fame, or back wall. It's about 30 feet long, 9 feet high, whatever like that. I'm putting together about 50, 70 photos, 50, 60, 70 photos. Raider Ron's going to make the thing like 2 or 3 different times. I got one of me, you, and him. I got one of us sitting at that
Raider Ron just sent in
winery.
the eyeballs, and he says, it seems like you're deflecting away from the booth.
I got one of Raider Ron pulling up in his Corvette, right, to meet me and Mitch.
He
so,
did say it sounds like you're deflecting from the booth, though.
I'm not deflecting from the booth, but I think Mitch got a Chargers jersey, says James Jr., because I'm sunning him. He's doing a punishment. He's my son. I think we need to man up. Now, I'll let Al produce if he wants, but I don't think he should because of Mitch's unpaid debt, which, frankly, has gone on 53 weeks. It's unacceptable. It's immoral, and frankly, it's not in the commitment to excellence.
all right,
Mitch. It's
I
not
got
in the
this.
excellence.
I got this.
If that describes Mitch, though, what about your debt to Raider Ron still?
I'll say this. I did make the bet.
I made the bet too.
So here's how we're going to do it.
I don't want to disappoint Raider Nation.
Okay.
So I will do it. I will do the tuna.
You guys are also going to see this. I will run my 10K 6 miles in a Chargers jersey.
And I actually do.
I will do it this weekend.
I'm not trying
This
to
weekend?
be the pot stir here, but you did say that you were going to do it as a cutoff jersey. You're going to cut it off at the teats.
No, I know.
You're gonna do a crop top.
I got to do a
you
crop
were supposed
top.
to crop
crop
the jersey
top
as well.
jersey.
I got a crop
That's-
top.
Jeremy, I want to
Chargers
show this
jersey.
tweet. Can I zoom in here really quick? That one. I don't know if it shows or not.
Back it up.
Yeah, back it up a little.
It'll focus.
Yeah, okay. Well, it says, please discuss on the next Raiders report so you can't get out of it by deleting this tweet. Now, we didn't delete the tweet.
Didn't delete it.
I think the jersey is over there somewhere. So his name
I
is,
looked for it because I was going to wear it in.
He does have
It's
the.
over there
He does
somewhere.
have the Chargers James jersey, which
So
actually
they got me a Chargers James Jr. jersey because obviously that's James Yoder.
it is actually kind of.
No, it should be in the
It
box.
is. I don't know if you planned this out, James.
Yeah.
It is coincidental because the Chargers do play the Raiders this week.
That's true.
I
Double
will
down?
say,
Double or nothing?
the Chargers-
Double down.
Do we double or nothing?
Double or nothing?
My problem.
Half marathon?
I can't run that. Like my knee won't allow me to do it. So that's why I dodged it last year because I have all these knee issues.
He did dodge it.
I will run 6 miles. I can't run it straight, but it's gonna take me an hour or two, but I'll do it.
Yeah, well, you just have to participate. I don't think you had to run.
No, I am going to run.
What is I'll even do, what's the point spread in that game? Do we know?
3.5.
3.5 Chargers?
3.5 Chargers.
3.5
I'm taking the Chargers
Vegas?
after that Patriots game.
All right. I will even give you the points. I'll give you the 3.5. Not even straight up, but and it doesn't have to be 6 miles, but if you want out of it, I need some sort of punishment. Like, okay, double or nothing.
I
So,
want
Raiders
you
win.
to do a boot on this show, and I will run. I'm going to run 6 miles this weekend in a cut-off Chargers freaking jersey. I will take a picture. People are going to hate on me for it. I'll take
It's a
the
bet.
photo. I will run, and then sometime in the month.
I think because
get a
you
boot.
are getting sunned, I think you do have to go old school and wear the jersey backwards. James on the front.
Yeah.
James.
James Jr.
James Jr.
I'll
wear
say so.
Dude,
James
crop
Jr.
top, James
Crop
Jr.
top.
jersey
The fact that
is
it's
wild.
James Jr. is actually hilarious.
Sunned. I'll let Alper make his own decisions here. Like, I'm going to go film something myself. If I'm back here in 35 minutes, 40 minutes, etc. If you guys are still alive, I'll do the boot before.
And Zahn,
All right.
I've got baseball practice my son.
I think-
I gotta leave at 5:25. But
I think Zahn with the ultimate right here.
I'm listening. Jello wrestling.
Jello wrestling.
I know.
He said,
Zahn.
"I'm just saying."
I know. We
got
owe
the,
it.
we got the space. We got the
We
space.
we're working. We have the Jello. We have the pool. So we will do it.
That's funny.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. I got to run 6 miles this weekend in a freaking Chargers crop top. James is going to be doing a boot at some time this week or in the month, and we are going to punish Alper. I think at the end of the day, if you make a bet, you make a deal, you should live up to that. Cast Joey. We'll see what happens there. Mari Cooper.
The clock is on.
So here's what's going to happen. The
Oh,
clock
boy.
is officially underway, and we already have 5 push-ups on the clock from Ox the Boss. So if you want to make Patriots fan Brett Alper here,
Bring it on.
do some push-ups.
Bring it on.
$5 for 1
Here,
push-up.
Alfred, you can
20
go sit
for
over
5
there.
push-ups. 100 for 25. 500 for 100 push-ups and a boot.
And a
Alper,
boot?
how many push-ups do you think that you can do in a row?
Probably 50. I would say 50.
50.
I think 50.
Oh, that's another one right there.
Blakey Patrick!
I can't even see.
Bang!
That is 30
30.
push-ups. Or no, that's bad math on my part. 35 push-ups.
35 push-ups.
As it stands
Okay.
right now, 60
All right.
seconds to go.
Come on.
We are doing a tuna clock punishment clock.
Just sit there. Just lean forward. If you're leaning back, you're not.
53 seconds to go. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm a little bit nervous.
A little nervous.
I'm a little bit nervous.
You're nervous. I'm nervous.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I was scared that
I was
someone was
hoping
going to
that you
send
were
in.
going to have to throw up. Christopher! 36!
Talk rule. Talk that. Talk rule.
I thought
Talk
someone was
that.
sending in 500 and I
Poor
was going
fanatic.
to do the boot.
Lord!
Cameron! Oh my God!
Abbott!
Bang! Raider! Run! Bang! Ryan Campbell!
Bang! 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 Bang!
Night Devil!
Bang!
All right.
Wait!
Josh! I
God.
bang!
Oh, Yoda!
Bang! Oh my God!
Richard Black!
Oh my God!
Bang!
Holy shit!
Oh,
The clock is
my
out. It's over.
goodness!
Richard Black!
Bang!
Bang! Yoda Jenkins! Bang! Oh, okay.
Mo, Ryan, James, Shep, the clock is off. The tuna clock is off. Are you guys
All right.
ready to see a Patriots fan
Mitch.
throw up?
Let
Mitch,
me see.
I'm gonna set up the camera. I need you to do the math on how many he owes.
Holy
So
cow.
it starts. I'll say this. It starts with Ox the
Ox
Boss.
the Boss, 5. Blinky, another 5. That is 10.
10.
Patrick B,
35.
25, 35. 36 from Christopher. What's 25 plus 36?
61.
Oh, I'm going to actually do the math. If that's it, that's impressive. 36 plus 25. You said 61. This guy gets it. All right. Raider Ron plus 25. 86. Ryan Campbell, I mean, yeah. So that is, it's actually 100. So 186. LA Crash Dog.
I thought Ryan Campbell sent in more than
No, it was,
$3.99.
yeah, that's 100.
Yeah.
That's the math.
I thought you said he sent in 100.
Oh, no, it's 100 push-ups. Ryan Campbell right now said, get it, Albert. All right, so Gunny then, we'll add 2 for you, Gunny. Shep is another 5, plus another 5 from Ryan James. And then Mo's going to add another 5. The Night Devil plus 25. Josh I plus 25. Yoda Jenkins plus 25. Richard Black plus 25. One more, but the opposite way from Rebel.
What?
304 push-ups for Mr. Brett Alper.
This is going to take a while.
I'll say this. If you, I'll be live for a good hour.
Okay.
If you need to do some push-ups, come back.
Yeah, I can do that.
Do some push-ups, come back.
150.
I think you do half and then come back. All right, y'all. This is gonna be interesting. This is Harrison goes. Are they due today? I actually don't know if you're gonna be able to do 304 push-ups today.
I don't know if I can do 300.
I don't think 304 is gonna happen. He's gonna throw up. You got to do them the long way. Dude, this is gonna be unbelievable. So. We are going to go to our camera over here with Alper, and I want y'all to get your hashtag Raiders questions in. I want y'all to get your super chats in. While he's doing these push-ups, I do at least want to be able to show all the super chats that happen.
We're going to go to him. We're going to go to him full screen first. Alper, I'm going to set up the camera so
Okay.
you can,
so I can
everybody
do
can
this.
see you good with the push-ups. So if you want to go ahead and get in position right here.
All right.
There we go.
This
That's
is
very nice.
unbelievable.
Maybe scoot back just a smidge. There we go. Right there's fine. That right there's fine. I'm gonna
Uh-oh, Trace walking into the building.
Pledge Master Trace. You better get down there, boy. All right, everybody. I'm actually gonna give Trace the other mic for the first 20 that Alper does. I'm gonna have Trace drill sergeant him for you. If you just wanna clip it right here for me. There we go.
What's going on there, Raider Nation?
All right, here we go. Right, Alper with the first bit.
I'm not on cam, correct?
Oh, once you get over there. You
Okay. Let me get set here.
Oh my God. Why did I agree to this?
You guys ready?
Shout out to Cullen in the background.
I know Cullen is just
Guys, turn
that a way to wash those boots, Cullen. You ready, Trace?
You
So
better
for
get
those
set there,
For those
Alper.
that do not know, Trace went to Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
He was a pledge master
training.
Trace.
Pledge daddy, as they say.
Pledge Daddy Trace. So he's going to make sure Alper drops down and gives us 304 push-ups. Alper, if you do all 304 first try, I will give you $304 of my own money.
Is that a two-way bet?
You can't stop. It's got to be 304 straight push-ups.
I can count to 3.4.
There's no way. I know
chance.
that.
No chance.
You ready?
Yeah.
Alper, here we go. 304 to go.
You better be looking at me, Alper. 2, 3, 4. Eye contact. Right here. Right here.
8, 9,
Eyes up, Alper.
11, 12, 13,
Come on now.
14,
Down,
15,
up,
16,
down, up,
17,
down, up,
18,
down, up, down,
19,
up.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
Keep going!
30,
Come on!
32,
Keep going!
33,
Don't quit!
34,
You keep going,
36,
Alper!
37,
I swear if you
38,
quit, you're so
39,
young!
40,
You're gonna get
41,
fired if you quit now!
42,
You better not
43,
stop!
44,
You keep going!
45,
Push!
46, 47,
Push!
48, 49,
Push! Push!
50,
Come on, Alper! Come on!
51,
Don't quit now!
52,
Don't you quit now! Come on!
53,
You better
54,
keep going!
55,
You better keep
56.
pushing! Come on, Alper!
Only
Don't you stop.
248 more to go.
Keep going! I'll do one for you.
245 to go.
That's one
243. 242 left.
Wait, they said your elbows weren't straight. Those don't count.
240 more to go.
All right, 240
Good,
more.
good.
240 more.
Are you going to come back to do those? All right, Alper's going to take a quick break.
Agua break.
How many was that? 60 in a row?
I'll tell you what,
That was
that's-
impressive.
that was a good
Very
amount
impressive.
in the row. That was a really good amount in the row. Alper's going to come back to do the remaining 240 here in a little bit. You're not going to have to work out for a week. I got a question for you, Alper. Would you be willing to take away? Some people are saying if you're willing to do a boot, we'll take away some push-ups.
How many?
100.
We'll take away 100 push-ups if you do a boot and then you get in to your next 140 push-ups.
Deal.
Dude, that's horrible.
Deal.
We got to deal with that?
200. It has to be a Zon milkshake.
A Zon milkshake.
A what?
Zon is the one asking for
Bud
it.
Light.
Zon is just 3 Bud Lights.
It's not an actual milkshake, but.
Yeah, not an actual milkshake,
love
but basically a
chocolate
milkshake. Raider Ron says
Deal.
deal. Alper says deal. So he owes 140 push-ups and a David Zahn milkshake. So the way we'll do it is when he's going to go film some stuff, he's probably going to try to shit his pants, and then he's going to come back here, he's going to do a boot, and then he's got to rip through 140 push-ups. Oh, dude, that was amazing. 60-ish. 64. Oh, dude, I'll tell you this right now. If I'm ever in a weightlifting competition, I need Trace there. I think I need Trace is going to start working at the combine, the bench guy. Go, go, go.
We got a Raiders Report combine coming at you.
140 push-ups and a boot. Bro, he's going to get sick. Suave, I'm with you, man.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I know getting rid of 100 push-ups sounds great. I think he's going to regret that. Dude, a boot, and then, dude, like, when I tell you he's sweating, guys, he's sweating. Yeah, that's true. Put a garbage can over there. So here's what I want to do. I want to go through all the super chats that have really set up everything that y'all have just kind of seen. Oh, my God, that's amazing. What up, Gunny? What up, fam? You missed us punishing our Patriots guy, but don't worry. He's going to be back here in a little bit. Also, here's some very minor Raiders news. The Raiders worked out Isaiah Bolden, Alex Johnson, and Samari Toure today. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't know who they are. The Raiders worked out 3 players today. Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. He is hurting, man. So this is what started the landslide of what you just saw. Ox the boss, if we can get Genty in our running game going. Oh, sorry. Gutty Grew. If Genty doesn't slip on that 3rd and 1, I think he was a house call, and we'd have a completely different narrative this week. He'll be fine. I don't know if it would have been like a total house call. I do think it would have been a matchup that we would have liked because it would have been Genty against the corner. And if you're able to get around there, he gets that bowling ball mentality going. But you're right. And when you think about the elements of that game, the rain, the Patriots defense stacked up against us, like I think it's the narrative of Genty being bad has been totally overblown. A David Zahn milkshake. It's 3 Bud Lights. Zahn's favorite things are Bud Light and feet picks. 2 of David Zahn's favorite things, no doubt about it. Let's go to, this is what started all the push-ups. I'm a Raider fan that lives in Massachusetts, so start pushing. I love the fact that this is the one that got the whole thing started. Freaking love it. Then Blinky came in and said, had fun dealing with McDumbass screenplays on 3rd down, buddy. One of the very first things I asked Alper the next day when he came into the office, and he was like, Drake May is going to be ruined by Josh McDaniels because McDaniels' offense is just 1,000 paper cuts. When you have a quarterback that has an arm like May does, you let him throw the ball down the field a little bit. So, oh, believe me, we're enjoying this one. Patrick B. Raiders! Mount Raidermore came in with a fury, dude. I'm telling you this right now. Jeremy just posted a photo. You guys know the Quagmire, like one arm? It's basically Alper tomorrow. He's going to be jacked, dude. I'm not kidding you. What you guys just did, our entire Chat Sports office is losing it right now. They are freaking the F out. Christopher, he has to say the Tuck game call was wrong. Otherwise, he does the push-ups. I mean, he's doing the push-ups regardless. If he was willing to admit this, I'd be willing to shave off some push-ups. But to be frank with you, I want to see him do a boot, and I want to see him try to power through 140 push-ups because he is not going to do well, I'll tell you that. Let's go to Lord Cameron Abbott. Bang! Long live the great Tuna. I miss him so much. You and me both, brother. He hit me up for first chat as Mount Raidermore. I'll never forget him. Hashtag Tuna. And, I was happy that obviously the Raiders got a win. I told y'all that I'm going to have his message with me for every single game day. And I love that you guys still participate in 2 o'clock. I hope that it never dies. I hope that it continues to live on forever and we can keep on remembering the great man that he was, Brandon Jasper. Let's go to Raider Ron. Boot, make it happen. Ron, I saw your message and I saw some people talking about the boot. What, did he lose his phone? It's over there. Luckily now, Ron, the boot will be booting. Ryan Campbell, by the way, when I saw this come in, I was like, oh, no, he's in trouble. Oh, no, he's in trouble. Ryan, the MVP of tonight's show, the Soup Daddy. Bananas, dude. Absolutely bananas, dude. Gunny, let's get it. Semper Fi. SaveAWarrior.org for veterans and first responders struggling. If you don't know, tell them Father Tom sent you. Let's go to Shep 3. Hurrah! Better see good form, too. Now, how would you guys grade his form? Oh, A, B, C, D, or F? Because I'll say this. Very impressed, 64 push-ups. I give the form a B minus, C plus. To me, if I did those push-ups, I think I could do 64.
I'm man enough to admit I could not rattle off 60 push-ups in a row.
I think I could do those push-ups, 60 in a row.
I think
wide arm down a little bit.
I think I'm still a little bit too hefty. I think I could do probably around the 20-25 mark.
Okay. I mean, I'll say this. I did 30 yesterday, and my arms were about ready to fall off, so maybe I shouldn't be talking. Ryan James, Josh McDaniels eats corn the long way. Ryan James, you're damn right he does. Mo, because I was in Boston and witnessed that win. Hell yeah, Mo. I love that you guys poured this on. The Night Devil.
Nothing. Just.
I mean, this is just about that action, boss.
Well, he's got a lot saved up from the races.
Very, very true. Josh I think you might need a tag team partner for push-ups. I mean, if there's one thing that a Patriots fan loves, it's a good tag team. Yoda, limber up, which that's what you said to me yesterday on Monday Night Football. Richard Black, Raiders. Those were all of the big ones that got Alper to 304 push-ups. We took him down to 240. He said he's going to do a boot, so it was a boot and 140 was the deal that we ended up making. Rebel, one more, but the opposite way, the long way. What is an opposite push-up? I did try to teach Alper reverse jumping jacks, and that was a bit of a problem. Soul Chef, he has to do the push-ups the long way, the same way Josh McDaniels eats his corn. Love it. Shep, elbows, they don't count. So, again, if I were to do those push-ups for my dad, he would not have counted those. Like, when I was a kid, Richie was a little bit crazy, but Richie used to have this thing on the floor that my chest had to touch.
Yep.
And my chin. He used to put his fist in front of my head. My head had to be up. The chin had to hit that. My chest had to hit this thing that he used to put. And, I don't know. Richie might not have loved the Alper push-ups. But.
And for me, my ass couldn't be above my head.
Yep. I agree with that. Again, gotta. The only way that can happen is if your feet are also above. Like if you do like an incline push-up, it's a little more up here though. Make him puck. I will try to make him puck. Mando, I don't know if David Goggins can do 304 push-ups. He thinks that he can though.
Could David Goggins do a boot though?
Very true. I don't know if David Goggins could do a boot and 140 push-ups. I mean, 304 push-ups. I don't know what the world record is. I'm sure that that's easily been done before by some crazy person. I mean, I saw the other day that somebody held their breath for 29 minutes. How do you hold your breath for 29 minutes? That's longer than a dolphin.
That's longer than a dolphin.
Somebody held their breath for 29 minutes. How's that possible? I have no idea, man.
All right.
I don't know.
We're going to get into our next segment on the program. I hope everybody enjoyed that little bit of fun we had. And then
he's going to come back. Yeah. I think we all realize watching somebody power through 304 push-ups, we would have been here until 7 o'clock. We still might be here until 7 o'clock. I don't really know. But I want to get through another segment around some of the latest Raiders rumors. And then Alper's going to come back. And then we're going to see him do a boot.
My favorite thing about going the full screen Alper cam there, though, is you saw all the people. I don't even think Marsh and Chase realized that they were in the frame.
Yeah.
And they were like.
Well, I saw Smitty in the background. He was doing some stuff. Cullen was cleaning some boots in the kitchen. I mean, it was just cool to see, everybody, stopped working for a moment. Everybody, walked over here, and they're like, what are we about to see? Because at Chat Sports, when we start our days, we got a Slack channel, so we kind of just, let everybody know, hey, this is what I have to do today. So that way, just, as a team, we communicate as best way as humanly possible. And today, I put on my show goal, I said, I want to make Alper puke today. So obviously, some people were like, what does this mean? And I don't know how else to say this besides this. Y'all always show up. Y'all always pull up. You guys make this show so much fun for me, and it's why you're going to get so much more content from me. Sunday lives, Monday all-day lives, Tuesday live. I do have a half day tomorrow, but guess what? We're back at it Thursday Night Football. I want you to know, Super Chats, Venmos, they don't go into our pocket. They go into being able to create you guys more content. And I mean it when I say it. You guys show up for me. You guys show up for Chat Sports. You guys show up for each other in Raider Nation. It's why this is so much more than a YouTube channel. It's an amazing community, and it's why we show up as hard as we do, giggity, every day for y'all. What do you got? What are you laughing at? Noah Santana deal. Subtract 20 push-ups per nut check. What does that mean? Oh, my God. Dude, no chance, bro. Imagine doing a boot, dropping down and doing 100 push-ups, and then getting flicked in the nuts. That sounds terrible. I would do that to a Chiefs fan, but maybe not. That'd be it, man. That would be unbelievable. I'll tell you this. If you guys tell Trace to do it, he's probably be the one to friggin' do it. He's friggin' crazy, man. Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into the latest Raiders rumors, and then once Alper gets done with some of his stuff, we will get his boot ready. He will do it might end up – it's going to happen, obviously, before today's show ends, but he still owes 140 push-ups and a boot before today's live show. No doubt about it. He will do the 140 push-ups and the boot before today's live show ends. And I don't think he's going to be making any more bets with me. I think that's about it. So, seriously, y'all, man, the nut tap thing's wild. You ready to go? All right, so coming up, let's talk about the latest Raiders rumors. And I hope y'all are ready to defend Ashton Genty because I know that I am. Raider Nation, I am Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I have seen a lot of rumors around social media, and I got to talk about these on today's program. I wouldn't be able to do today's show if it wasn't for our sponsor, Panda Sups, and if you need some awesome workout supplements, go to pandasups.com, use code JUSTWINBABY, and if you pay attention to the show a lot, you'll know usually it's a 20% off deal because the Raiders got to win, and they just won, baby. Code is JUSTWINBABY for 25% off. Now, on today's program, you're going to see rumors from all over the globe. And I looked at some of the top trending stories out there. One of the stories is around Ashton Genty. And for each of these rumors, I'm going to be giving them a Just Win, baby. I understand that we've had about 5,000 new subscribers in the last month. So you're probably like, Mitch, what the hell's a Just Win, baby? Let me explain it to you. When I talk about a story or a rumor, I like to talk about what is the chance or the likelihood or how real that rumor is. If you see something 0 Just Win, babies, tuck rule, tuck that. We did that for the Patriots. If something is 100% true, it's 4 Just Win, babies. Believe it, baby. 1, 2, 3. Y'all can read. That is our Raiders rumor meter. So the first story here, I've been seeing it everywhere. I wore this shirt today for a reason. Ashton Genty will be a bust for the Las Vegas Raiders. Get it out of here, man. Tuck rule, tuck that. 0 Just Win, babies. And I saw an article from Fanside. And then my guy Tom Downey and I used to always say, usually the trash only gets brought out one time a week. With Fansided, it gets brought out every single day. And this is what Fansided had to say about Ashton Genty being a bust. Yes, Genty did score a touchdown in his debut, a score that helped propel the Raiders to a 1-0 start on the season. That, however, doesn't mean he was remotely effective in this game. Well, you know what, Fansided? I got a statement to what you're saying because this sounds like Fansided is like every other box score watcher, box score warrior. Did you even watch the game? Like, in all honesty, did you watch the game? Because when you say shit like this, it tells me that you didn't watch the game. Could Ashton Genty been better? Yeah, he could have. But if you're putting the blame on number 2 and not the offensive line, you didn't even watch the game. I mean, the craziest stat that I have found out there, and maybe it's one of the craziest stats that I've seen since doing this show, Ashton Genty had 38 rushing yards. And he had 44 rushing yards after contact. Somebody go out and try to find a running back that had more yards after contact than actual rushing yards. That is why calling him a bust after a week 1 game where he had no running room to go at all is absolutely positively idiotic, and it shows you didn't watch the game. Let's keep rolling here with Fansided on Genty being a bust. Not only was Genty ineffective running the rock, but he wasn't a factor in the passing attack with 2 catches for 2 yards. On top of that, he struggled as a pass blocker for Geno Smith. Also, it wasn't the best day at the office for someone who came into the league with the pedigree of Genty and with the expectations of the 5th overall pick as well. Well, I will say this. I do agree that Genty needs to be better as a pass blocker because in my mind, I want him to be a bell cow. And if you're going to draft a running back at number 6 overall, he's got to be able to do everything well. I do have to watch Baldy breakdowns because I've been told multiple times today on our live program to watch it. I will say this. There were times when I watched the tape on Genty that you want him to do a little bit better of a job. And the 27.7 PFF grade does prove that he needs to get better at it. But that grade is way too low. And you also have to understand he's pass protecting in a wet and rainy environment in a game that they are sending all-out blitzes, and he's blocking linebackers, defensive ends in the rain, in the wet environment. Let's realize the game conditions that number 2 was dealing with. And then FanSided said this. The Raiders always felt like that they were trying to rush a rebuild to some degree with Pete Carroll's arrival, and taking a running back for this roster with the number 5 pick is part of that. For it to not be deemed a mistake, Genty needs to be a star, and that didn't look to be the case on Sunday. If you're going to call a player a bust, and if you're going to say things that prove that you didn't watch the game, at least do your homework a little bit, right? Because it takes away everything that you just said. You're calling Ashton Genty the number 5 overall pick, and to me, details matter. And I do take offense when you start ripping apart my Raiders players because don't get me wrong, I'm never afraid to give my honest opinion. But when other people start picking us apart, I do feel some type of way. And Ashton Genty, minor detail, but the number 6 overall pick. If we were in a court case right now and you're throwing out facts that aren't 100% true, you're going to throw away your entire case. My point to you, whoever wrote this article at FanSided, you better do a better job. Because if you ever want to get an upgrade at Chat Sports, you're not going to get an upgrade by writing shit like that. So that is why you subscribe to the Raiders Report. You're going to become a smarter Raiders fan. There's a reason why we have over 201,000 subscribers. I want to get to 202K at some point. I'd like to be able to get there before Monday Night Football against the Chargers. If you bleed silver and black, and if you believe in Ashton Genty, hit that subscribe button. Let's go to the next story here on the Raiders Report. The Las Vegas Raiders are the worst team in the AFC West. I'm going to give this one again. 0 just win, babies. Tuck rule, tuck that. I know there's a lot of football left to be played. Totally understand it. Totally understand it. But I looked at our NFL power rankings from our Chat Sports team. I'll say this. I actually did not put my rankings in. You bet your ass I'm putting my rankings in next week. The worst team in the AFC West in the latest power rankings. And I'm not really going to get too crazy about Raiders at 18, Denver at 13, KC at 8, Chargers at 5. I love that we are the underdogs. I love the fact that people still doubt us. But to me, in the NFL, you need good quarterback play to win. There is one team in our division that has by far the worst quarterback play in it, and it is the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is not even in the conversation as Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. I get they have an elite defense, but to me, the worst team in the AFC West is the Denver Broncos because they don't have a quarterback. So today's pinned comment is this. Who do y'all think is the worst team in the AFC West? If you think it's the Raiders, type LV. If you think it's the Chargers, type LAC. If you think it's the team that's actually in last place right now in the AFC West and doesn't have a single win, type KC. If you think it is the Denver Broncos, type DEN. My answer coming up here after this YouTube ad break. It is the Donkeys, and it is because of Bo Nix. Do they have an elite defense? Yes, they do. But does anybody out there think that Bo Nix is good enough to carry a team to a Super Bowl? I know I don't. I think Geno has the chance to do it. I think Justin Herbert is talented enough to win some games, and obviously Mahomes has done it. But to me, the biggest outlining factor is Bo Nix. And I'm not sitting up here saying PFF is the all-be-all. But when you are ranked the worst quarterback in the National Football League, and it's not close, there's a reason behind it. I know that I've been a Bo Nix doubter, but my eyes tell me one thing, and the tape proves it. He was the perfect placement with Sean Payton, and for anybody that watches Bo Nix play, I hope that you actually watch it and you don't look at the box score, because if you're only looking at box scores with Bo Nix stats, you're just as bad as FanSided. Coming up next here on the show, the Raiders have been linked to a free agent wide receiver. And I'm going to talk about who that free agent wide receiver is here in a little bit because obviously with all the Amari Cooper stuff that happened the other day, we're going to have to talk about it. Before I do, though, today's show is sponsored by Panda Sups, and I was told today by our Panda Sups guy, who is a diehard Raiders fan. Again, shout out to him. Use code JUSTWIN, baby, for 25% off. In the 5-6 years that I have worked here, Panda Sups has never given me a QR code. And he basically told me, if Raider Nation wants the hookup, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, scan that QR code. I'll leave it to y'all. And I would recommend this. If you do end up scanning that QR code, I would say check out their premium protein. I would say check out their nootropic. I love it for when I get that middle of the day crash. My wife loves the superfoods. She loves the greens. She also loves their thermogenics, their fat burners. I personally don't always feel like I need a pre-workout. I know some people here at Chat Sports use their pre-workout. Actually, I gave Alper, the Patriots fan that you guys are beating the shit out of on our live show today, I actually gave him some of my old Panda Sups pre-workout. I love the BCAAs. I use them after every single workout. The bottom line is this. If you need some Panda Sups, workout supplements, some workout gear, some shakers, they got all sorts of stuff over there, use code JUSTWIN, baby, for 25% off at pandasups.com. That link's going to be down in the comments. It's going to be down in the description. And if you're somebody that believes that you want to support other Raiders fans, it is owned and operated by a diehard Raiders fan that has been watching and been a part of the show for 5+ years, and I respect and love the hell out of them. Coming up next here on the show, let's get into the Las Vegas Raiders being linked to a free agent wide receiver. And I was asked yesterday on Monday Night Football over and over and over again about Tyler Boyd. And usually when that happens, a little light bulb goes on in my head, and I'm like, well, why is everybody asking me about the same player over and over and over again? So I saw an article from Vince, not an article, but a statement from Vincent Bonsignor linking the Raiders to Tyler Boyd. So are the Raiders interested? I'm going to give it one just win, baby, and I'm going to say that there is a small shred of truth. I am not saying that there is no way that the Raiders are interested. I am more or less just simply saying that I think it is a little bit less likely. And Vinny in his tweet said, I'll throw out a name to keep an eye on, Tyler Boyd. I know I say this all the time, and I know that not everybody watches this show, but anytime you hear a Raiders beat reporter say anything, I want you to think of it as almost as if I am saying something, like giving my opinion, because no disrespect to our beat reporters, I don't think that they have proven that they have, reliable sources, and I'm not saying that Vinny is saying that we are interested in Boyd. What we got to realize is they give opinions just like anybody gives opinions, and you got to take that with an opinion. But I saw all these articles out there of like, Raiders are linked to Boyd. Raiders are interested in Boyd. There was nothing out there that says that. There was no reports out there that say that. I could see them being interested in a veteran wide receiver. Why? Because they were interested in Amari Cooper, and if you were interested in a veteran like Amari, I could absolutely see why you would be interested in a veteran like Tyler Boyd. But to me, there's another name out there that I think is a lot more likely to happen than Mr. Tyler Boyd. Now, if you haven't seen what he's done over the past 4 seasons, last year in Tennessee wasn't all that great. Their quarterback play obviously was trash. In 2023, 2022, 2021, that is with the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a Pittsburgh product, and he does offer you some of that ability in the slot, but here's the problem. If we're going to add a veteran wide receiver, do we need another slot guy? Like, I get that the plan was probably to put Amari behind Jacoby because that's what it was listed on the depth chart, and Tyler Boyd could be that backup plan to somebody along the lines of Jacoby Myers, but at the same time, like, I'm looking at our offense right now, and I'm going, if we're going to add a veteran, I want to add maybe a veteran that can play on the outside and on the inside a little bit. So should the Raiders sign Tyler Boyd, I want you to type sign or I want you to type pass. Let me know down below. My answer coming up here in just a moment. The reason why I'm going to sit up here and say there is a potential to sign him, I just think that there is a different player and a different route that I would go. Right now, to my knowledge, Tyler Boyd is a free agent. And, when I hear free agents at that age, I just get a little bit nervous because, I'm like, is he in game playing shape, right? Like, I think it's kind of very similar to the Amari Cooper situation where, yes, these players are in, to some people, good shape. Amari was not. But to Tyler Boyd, there's a difference between being in shape and in football shape. So to me, if I'm looking at players, I'm going to look at somebody that is on a practice squad right now from a veteran standpoint. So that's why I'm going to probably pass on Boyd, and I'm going to go after another name. So from the wide receiver target standpoint, you have to at least, again, throw out Tyler Boyd if the Raiders are interested in a potential veteran. Another name that I'll at least throw out there is a Donovan Peoples-Jones from the simple side, I guess, aspect of he was a Michigan product, and the Raiders do value Michigan products because they're trying to build something for the long haul, though I wouldn't go out and get Donovan Peoples-Jones. Nelson Aguilar is a field stretcher. Maybe that could be something that they're looking for. I mean, Geno Smith was throwing the ball down the field. He right now leads the NFL in passing attempts or passing yards per completion and 20-yard completions with 9. So Aguilar, somebody's got some Raiders ties. The name I would go with, Robert Woods. And the reason why I would go with Robert Woods, right now he is currently on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad, so you at least know that he's getting some work in, he's getting some reps in overall. Chugs wants me to mention Odell Beckham Jr. I personally don't think that OBJ makes a lot of sense for this team. I also don't know if he's all that healthy, but in terms of Robert Woods, we know how important coaching connections are. And Pete Carroll and the Las Vegas Raiders Senior VP of Coaching Operations recruited Robert Woods to USC in 2009. He's played at least 14 games the past 3 seasons. That's 30 starts. So if I was the Raiders and I wanted to add a veteran, I would at least want to add somebody that does at least give me some of that reliability that he's going to be able to go out there and play, unlike an Amari Cooper. And then again for Woods, like, he is on that practice squad, so he's at least getting some reps going. I like the idea of it. We also have hired some people from the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past that have worked underneath Omar Khan, so there's at least a little bit of a relationship there. To me, the veteran receiver to keep in mind if we go this route, not so much Tyler Boyd, Robert Woods. And again, I think Vinny said Tyler Boyd because if you Google top free agent wide receivers, the top name on there is Mr. Boyd. I will say this, though. I will throw out some other names just of some potential replacements, if you will, that if the Raiders wanted to bring a guy in, because they already signed Justin Shorter to the active 53-man. So that's their replacement. They activated Alex Bachman. But these are 3 other receivers that worked with the Raiders the entire offseason that Spytek has kind of shown us that they're not going out looking for always the big name. They're probably going to bring in some of these minor players. And in fact, I'm live right now on Tuesday, and the Raiders worked out defensive back Isaiah Bolden, defensive back Alex Johnson, and wide receiver Samori Toure. Have you heard of any of those names? The answer to that is probably no. So to me, yes, we talk about Boyd. Yes, we throw out names like OBJ, but based on Spytek and based on what they've done this offseason, I don't really know if a splash is truly going to happen because when they have made splashes, they've gotten burnt from Amari Cooper. Now, if y'all don't already follow me on social media, I hope that you do. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365 on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm doing my best to provide as much content around the silver and black as humanly possible. And if you like the content that I provide on YouTube, I would imagine then you're probably going to like the content that I provide on social media. It's also the easiest way for me to get to know y'all. It's also the easiest way. If you ever have a question, you can always hit me up. I do check my DMs to the best of my ability. But let's get one thing straight here. Ashton Genty, not a bust. Raiders, not the worst team in the AFC West. Tyler Boyd, I could see the link. But personally, I think Robert Woods just makes a little bit more sense. Let's go to my man, Suavemente. Hey. What up, Suave? How many rushing yards from Genty would make you confident in a win this coming Monday with similar performance on defense? I mean,
100.
I would love 100.
If you can get to 100 with Genty, as long as Geno plays a similar game that he did against the Patriots, I think that's a dub. If you get a similar game from Geno, add another, 60 yards to Ashton Genty?
I mean, that's a lot. To me, the way that I would look at it, I don't even know if I would look at it so much just from a rushing perspective. And I'm going to talk about this in my preview. I know I said it a bunch yesterday. I even said it on live in that Raiders game on Sunday. If teams are blitzing, if teams are literally just trying to do everything in their power to take away that running game, run through the air. And whether it's screens, whether it's throwing the football to them, as much as we tried to work that in this entire offseason, that's just got to be a part of the offense, in my personal opinion. So I don't know if I would just say rushing yards. I would say total yards. And I would like to see 100 total yards from Ashton Genty this upcoming week in Las Vegas. Also, a quick word from our sponsor,
Ryan
James Bang! Phillip Rivers would look elite 1 week, and then the next week look like he's playing with his helmet backwards. Herbert is exactly the same. He also just as much of a lame-ass cornball. I think PG going to have us ready for him get Jamal more involved, he balled. I understand the roller coaster ride of a Phillip Rivers, Justin Herbert comparison, though I don't think that Herbert has the competitive nature that Rivers has. And, back in the day, I think of Rivers more from like a fantasy football standpoint because that was way before I was in the whole Raiders sphere. But one thing I respect about Rivers was he was a competitive SOB, and I love guys that are competitive. Like, to me, like, that's one of the number one things that you got to do. Herbert looks like he doesn't care, and I'm not saying that he doesn't care, but to me, I want my quarterback to be fired up. I want my leader to be able to show some emotion, and I want my leader, when you're in that huddle and he looks at you in the eyes and you're like, we're getting this job done. I think that's one of the best things that Geno Smith does right now. But I do want to see Jamal Adams get involved a little bit more. I believe he played 26 snaps off the top of my head, but I agree. To me, he's got to get more work, and I hate saying that I put Landon Roberts as a loser, but I put him as a loser for this week simply because, first off, he got injured, but number two, Jamal Adams played so well. Tommy Eichenberg looked pretty good, and the Raiders' defense, you could say they did play a lot better when Landon wasn't on the field, but Roberts is extremely important, so we'll end up seeing. But Ryan, legendary, dude. What's up, Ox? Excuse me. We have to upgrade the O-line. If not, we are going to wear out Genty and the running backs as we have done in the past. To me, my bigger concern, yes, we will wear them out, turnovers. And I think that's another big part of the game where people just don't appreciate what Genty did. Even like Zamir White. They didn't put the ball on the ground in a very wet, crappy game. When you're getting hit in the backfield and it's those elements, there are turnovers waiting to happen, right? And you never know when it can happen, but I agree. We got to be able to figure out this offensive line because we're doing way too much time talking about Genty when we're not doing enough time about talking about that O-line. What up, James? Denver looked like they accidentally won the game that both teams were trying to lose. Bo Nix is trash. I know that there was a lot of people last year that were saying, Mitch, you were wrong on Bo Nix. You were wrong on Bo Nix. I think, there is a true statement to a sophomore slump. There's a true statement to when you get more tape on a guy, you can scheme up for it a little bit more. But Bo Nix is, I don't think he's any good. Our Patriots guy just said he's Mac Jones, which he's definitely more athletic than Mac Jones, but believe me, I'll tell you this right now. I would not want Bo Nix on my football team. I don't know how I could state that anymore. There are I think he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Starting quarterbacks, personally. But we'll see. All right, y'all. Still our daddy. I don't even know how you can say that. That's a crazy statement there. But, hey, at least you're here. You're watching a Raiders show. Shout out to you, man. I'd take Nix over Flacco. Yeah, sure. To win a game right now, though, I don't know if I would. To win a game right now, Joe Flacco or Bo Nix, I actually don't know.
I don't know if you did this on purpose, Mitch.
I'm listening.
We're going to get into our Tuna's top 5 here.
We're going to get into our Tuna's top 5? I love it.
And
love it.
It's going to start off with this question.
Let's go.
It's a very simple one. Out of these guys up on screen right here, which is the best quarterback?
Who's the best quarterback out of the names that you see on screen? And I don't know if you guys know this, but all of these quarterbacks were drafted
the same year
in round 1 of the 2024 NFL draft. And you'll probably notice that Bo Nix isn't on this list, and I didn't put Bo Nix here because I don't think he deserves to be in this top 4. I think Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, all clearly better than Bo Nix. So I didn't want to put him up here. But who do you think out of these 4 is the best quarterback? And that's kind of going to be the way that we transition into a Tuna's top 5. I also know that if I would have put Jaden Daniels on this list, that every single person would have ended up picking Jaden Daniels. So I left off Bo because I know nobody was going to vote for him. And I knew Jaden would have got all the votes. So let me know down below. Who is the best quarterback? Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, or Drake May?
You can't start yet.
He needs a boot.
Yeah. So, Alper, I'll get you the boot. Why don't you come up there with Mitch and maybe tell us why Drake May isn't the worst quarterback?
I got See, I think that's – I mean, I can't say anything bad about McCarthy because I ripped him a new one for 3 quarters yesterday, and he quickly shut up everybody, quickly shut up me. I know that for a damn fact. Oh, I mean, it was an unbelievable turnaround. I had Drake May as my number 1 quarterback coming out of that year's class. See, I had Drake May at number 1, Jaden at number 2, Caleb at number 3. I will admit, when May went to New England, I said that was a bad fit for him. So I dropped him down a little bit. But I had Jaden and Drake May ranked higher than Caleb Williams. That's a fact. You can go back and look at it if you want. So Drake May, where exactly would you put him? Okay. Hang on. I don't think your mic pack is on. No. Yeah.
How about now?
Now
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Chugs. Thanks, Chugs. Didn't realize I was on mute. I mean, Penix is one hell of an athlete, but Drake May just has the tangibles. He looks like Josh Allen. Like, if you look at him, you see the arm strength, you see the ability to make plays with his legs, even though he didn't really make some on Sunday. But with everybody else, with J.J. McCarthy, oh, God. J.J. McCarthy, I'm doing this in a second. Who else was on the list? I just don't like Caleb. Like, I didn't like him coming out of college. I think he was just a part of the USC. You could see some flaws, and last night it just looked like he wasn't that accurate.
He looked like somebody. I always say this about head coaches, that your teams take on the persona, like they take on the identity of your leaders.
Oh, 100%.
And the Bears take on the identity of Caleb Williams, which looks like a very soft football team. And it's one of the reasons why, I used to knock on Derek Carr a lot, where I'm like, DC can be good, but kind of soft a little bit. Drake May is, I think, a good quarterback, but that offense takes on the identity right now of Josh McDaniels.
And when we first hired him, I was like, okay, I kind of see him coming back to New England. Maybe this will be better because he's never worked as a head coach.
Yeah.
You obviously know that.
Yep.
All the Raider Nation knows that Josh McDaniels is not the answer. Maybe as an offensive coordinator, but it seems like in 2025, you don't have Tom Brady anymore. And this offense, you got to implement RPOs. You got to implement just today's, and it seems like he's still trying to run that 2012 type of offense in the NFL.
So here's what we're going to do. Alper is going to throw down a boot, and then we are going to watch him try to rip through 140 push-ups. While he is doing those push-ups, and the reason why we're talking about all these quarterbacks that are being drafted is because while he's doing those push-ups, Chugs is going to go through his Tuna's top 5. That's fine. Yeah, we'll cheer him on, and then we'll go through. Then we're going to go through our Tuna's top 5, which is the top quarterbacks from the 2024 NFL Draft. So, everybody, say big old cheers to my man Alper.
What do they call this, Chugs?
That is a
Zon milkshake?
A Zon milkshake. His
All
favorite
right.
beer is Bud Light. If you show your feet, he'll get crazy for you.
I'm not a feet guy, but cheers.
Oh, man. The David Zahn milkshake. David Zahn milkshake. Doing a boot and then ripping through 140 push-ups is going to be diabolical. I'm also impressed that he's not dripping on that mic. Sam is very happy with that. Honestly, that's...
Right, straight to the push-up. Straight to the push-up. Go. Here we go. Straight to the push-up.
Straight in.
Move, baby, move.
Cheer him on, y'all. Cheer him on,
Right to the
y'all.
push-ups.
Let's get it.
All right.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm worried he's going to throw up.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
120 more to go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll tell you what, this is actually a lot better than I thought.
9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, baby. 50,
90 more to go.
3, 4, 5. Come on, baby. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're starting to get some Alper grunts. 60.
God damn.
Only
All right.
80 more to go.
All right. While Alper's finishing his push-ups.
Yep.
We're going to go through our Tuna's top 5.
I got water.
Ah.
I'll tell you what. These next 80 are going
All right.
to be tough.
They're gonna
And
be tough.
here's my top 5 quarterbacks drafted in the 2024 NFL draft. Number 5 is J.J. McCarthy. Simply because, and Alper, if you want, actually stop, Alper, if you just want to scoot back, nudge back just a little bit.
Yeah, just
That was
Just a little
2.
bit.
scoot your two.
78.
We didn't see him, so they didn't count.
78 more to go.
J.J. McCarthy, not enough tape on him just yet. Not enough tape on him just
I
yet.
can't imagine why people don't take us serious.
After last night, though, pretty good. Pretty good. Number 4, Beauregard Knicks. Awful week 1. Still had a good 2024 season, 2025 season. But off to a bad start to this year. So he's number 4 on my list. Number 3, Caleb Williams. Last night, he was not fabulous.
How many more does he have?
60 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb was hashtag just not it last night. He was okay.
He was not giving elite quarterback.
Yeah, he was just not giving.
He was not giving a lead
He was
quarterback.
not giving elite. Alex is going to be like, oh my God, I get that reference.
He was okay, but the second half, he crumbled worse than one of Lynn's cookies. It was bad. It was absolutely bad. Number 2 on my list, Michael Penix Jr. He's looked really good for Atlanta, and I think they're just totally done with Kirk Cousins at this point to where they don't even need him anymore. I don't think they need Kirk Cousins. Michael Penix, which he actually loves that name.
Yeah, you should absolutely call him that. 50 more? 50
more.
Yeah.
more to go.
And the number 1 quarterback drafted in the 2024 NFL draft, I think to nobody's surprise, Jaden Daniels.
No Drake May.
No, yeah, Drake May does not make the list.
Wow.
I think Spencer Rattler might be at 6 tied with Drake May. Yeah, 1 game of JJ. I've already seen what I need to see. I think he's going to be a better quarterback than Drakus May. You had Tom Brady. I'm sorry. You can go through a drought of shitty-ass quarterbacks, Alper. If you have a couple duds, you probably deserve it.
I
Just
can't
saying.
argue with
See,
that.
I would say that I would have Jaden at number 1. Personally, I would put Drake May at number 2. I'd probably go Penix at 3, Williams at 4, McCarthy at 5.
There we go.
And 45 more to go.
Joey Longlegs.
40 more.
I'm doing them increments of 10. Increments of 10.
40
Hey.
more to go.
Let's cheer him on. Let's cheer him on, guys. Can we get some FNEs in the chat to cheer him on?
Some F the Patriots, some corn the long way. Let's go, man. If you're ready to punish the Patriots fans, shout out to all of y'all that had make this happen.
Alper,
OC
he's our
Raiders
man.
saying, get the elbows in.
Get the elbows in.
Alper, he's our man. If he can't do it, Mitch surely can.
I'll tell you this, I wouldn't be able to do this many push-ups. I don't remember how many he's done. He's got 30 more.
Alper, how many do you have left?
30.
30. How are you feeling? Can you look into the camera, tell the audience how you're feeling right now?
My triceps are killing me, and my
He
traps
is
are killing
sweating,
me.
dude. Well, also, look at your shirt. Did you rip that?
No, this is sweat.
No, underarm.
Oh, yeah.
That's there's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
some rippage up there. Just too much man.
I think we have some deodorant in the back if you.
I was gonna say, there's already too much gains.
Reed,
All
can
right.
you go cheer him on for a little
Let's
bit
go
for
down
us?
to 20. 2. 4. 8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look into his eyes.
12. 14. 15 more to go.
15 more. Can we count them down in the chat? Spam the 15s. 15.
I'll tell you this. I'm impressed by his ability to do the push-ups after the boot.
Yoda said, can Yoder's punishment be he has to wear Alper's shirt for the rest of the day?
Cruel and unusual punishment.
That's actually hilarious, Yoda.
I'll tell you this. You are going to be sore tomorrow. Have you already filmed your Patriots today or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look how happy Marsh looks. Marshall! Marshall Gwee!
Come on, man.
I think he loves the fact that he's now right in the view of the camera.
Oh, without a doubt.
11, 12,
He's shaking.
Oh, no.
13, 14.
Wait, one to grow on.
Wait, you got to do one reverse.
Yeah, one reverse.
What?
So you got to go on your heels and in the back of your arms and go down one.
No.
We had one person pay for it, so I think you almost have to.
Shout out.
Just give us one reverse. It's just one.
No.
It's for Rebel Montana.
Rebel Montana.
It's for Rebel.
One.
It's for Rebel.
How do I do it?
All right, get on your arse.
How about you show me?
Yeah, I'll show you.
We can do it together.
This is going to be interesting. I have no idea what is about to happen. Reverse push-up. Like this is a tricep dip. What am I watching right now? Oh my. If you are new to the Raiders Report, subscribe for this every week.
Yoda said, that's mine. Rebel said, that's mine.
That reminded me of who was the old guy? Shout out to you, bro. I can't believe you did it. I mean, I'm impressed. That was after doing a boot. That was low-key impressive. I want to know how you feel tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
There's going to be some soreness.
I don't know if I can work out today.
Shout out to all of y'all
Shout out to the Raider Nation.
for punishing the Patriots fan on a scale of 1 to sweaty. How sweaty are you?
7.
All right.
6.
6 or 7 on the sweat
6,
scale.
7.
Brian Nation said, "What am I watching?" OC Raider. David Zahn, well done, kid.
Thank
Well
you.
done, kid.
Can you read that one for us?
F the Raiders.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Nah, shout out to Raider Nation. This was fun.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
always paying off a bet.
Hey, got to pay your bets. That just means I got to pay my bet this weekend. I got to run in a crop top Chargers jersey for 6 miles. That's going to be something. There's going to be some people looking at me. I will take a photo. I will. Is there a way to, like, track it? How do you track, like, when you run? How does that happen? Ah, Christ. I don't have one of those. Yep, I don't have one of those either. How the heck am I gonna track? Does anybody have a good way that I can track how far I run? Does anybody have a way to do that for me? Oh, man. Unbelievable. Somebody said download an app. Okay. Okay. I don't have an Apple Watch. Your phone, smartwatch, brother, don't have one. The app Runkeeper from Brando. Strava. Okay. You can on the iPhone. I got you. So y'all don't get mad at me, but I gotta run 6 miles this weekend with a crop top Chargers jersey on. Christ. Ay, 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 ay. All right, y'all. Next segment coming up here on the Raiders Report is going to be around the Raiders Monday Night Football Week 2 preview against the Los Angeles Chargers. After that,
Ira said, how much to have you eat Taco Bell before you run?
no way did he say that.
Ira just asked, how much for you to eat Taco Bell before you run?
I mean, I feel like if I shit myself in a crop top, that's worse. Dude. That's just, I'm gonna look. I'm already. I feel like gonna look homeless. I'm literally gonna cut a Chargers jersey. It's gonna look ridiculous.
You have to wear it backwards.
I have to wear a backwards Chargers jersey, crop top, and run 6 miles. I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
Well, Chase can actually tell you because he tracks his runs.
Yeah,
So-
there's apps.
So maybe you can just borrow Chase's Fitbit for your run.
Well, I think I could do it on my iPhone now that I was like, I will map out the run that I do. I will map out the run that I do. I mean, there's a part of me where I'm like, do I just go live on Instagram and just hold my phone while I'm running?
Or you just pick something that's 3 miles away and you run to it and run back.
Yeah. I also, though, I'm like, no disrespect to Raider Nation, I don't know if I want to show y'all, like, where I live. You know what I mean? Like, if I start it at a certain spot and then we go to another spot, we'll figure it out. It's going to be interesting, though. Before we get into the final segment, our Week 2 preview, I do want to say one more time, we are going to do a $20 Venmo duck race today. So somebody, for the love of God, I hope somebody beats Fabian Moreno and Soulja Man because those guys have been winning every single time. Before I get in, though, to this next segment, I am going to have to go take a quick little pee because I got to tinkle. Not going to lie to you. I gotta go tinkle. 93 Nav, I see you're in, so gotcha. Speaking of tinkle, Richard Engel, you're in. Gotcha.
Richard Engel.
Soulja Man in again. Chad Howard in. Philip Boger is in. So as it stands right now, we are at $20 Venmo for a chance to win $100 here on today's show. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. Let me go pee.
This one is pretty hilarious. Bears should sign Wilkins. Caleb certainly won't complain. Team chemistry is going to be off the charts. That's hilarious, Noah. Oh, C. What's the bet with the Chargers guy? Are you going to do this for every week's matchup? I don't know if. Well, he's talking about James. So our boss is a Michigan fan and pseudo Chargers fan because Jim Harbaugh is now the Chargers head coach. So he's now a Chargers fan because of Jim Harbaugh, and they drafted a couple Michigan guys. I don't know if Mitch could do this if he made a bet every single week. I don't know if he could do it. Mo, you should just double down on the bet for Monday Night Football, 12K miles or nothing. Whew. Our boss did say he could double down. Give me a Y for yes inferno. Should Mitch double down on the bet? Our boss said he'd be down. Let me know. Y for yes inferno. Should he take Mo's advice and try to double down? Oh, they're all saying no. Rebel says no. Raider Ron says no. Anthony Vigil says no. Mark Prosser saying yes, though. So is Raider Fan 84, Raider Nation 80. If you can get a tattoo for the nation. Well, Mitch already did get one. I don't know if I already know our boss won't get a tattoo. Raider Ron says pay the debt owed. I can respect it. I can respect it. Angel says 12K miles, LOL. Yeah, I don't know if Mitch wants to go from 6. If Mitch is having a tough time doing 6 miles with his knees, I don't know if he'll be able to do the 12. If, one, if the Raiders lose and then he has to run 12 miles on top of it, very disappointing. What? Dude, he played 1 game. I have him above Drake May. I thought that was a good ranking. Did you watch? Did you listen to what I said? I said JJ tentatively at 5 can move ahead of Caleb and Bo if he continues this over the next couple weeks. Oh, if he beats Penix, it's going down. I had Penix at 2. Give me Penix over Williams. Well, and I think Caleb would like a Penix over him, but oh. Yeah, my boss, all these Michigan guys are giving me mess about my top 5 quarterback rankings for the 2024 NFL Draft. Hell yeah, Yoda speed walk with the crop top. Yeah, Mitch might be speed walking the 6 miles.
I will do my best to actually try to jog it of some sort. Again, I actually love to run. It's something that I like to do to clear my mind. I said earlier yesterday, when I work out, it's me time. My problem is though, again, I just have a bad knee. I've torn my ACL, I've torn my MCL, my LCLs. I got bad knees. So here's the jersey that I'm gonna have to run in. Backwards, crop top. I made the bet last year. I'm actually impressed that he remembered, not going to lie. I kind of forgot about it, but as soon as I heard him bring it up, I was like, oh, no, I know exactly where this is going to go. It's all good. I'm man of my word. We lost last year to the Chargers. It's not going to happen again.
Did we have a verdict on how much it would be for you to eat Taco Bell before?
How about this? Here is a very, very, very fair deal. I will give you a eat Taco Bell before the run deal, Thursday night football. No matter what, I got to drink some fat tires. Alex and I are going to go pick those up tomorrow for the show. Shout out to Jerry Danley.
Brick and Bones fried chicken.
Brick and Bones fried chicken. Super excited about it. I will give you guys a deal in terms of what I would have to eat before running 6 miles. Mind you, when I go for jogs now, I go for a 3-mile run because that's basically all my knee can really hold up for. But I will do my best that I possibly can. And when I run, I'm running so slow that I'm basically running backwards. It's really just to get a sweat in. I will do my best. I will do my best.
We have another super chat coming in from Raider Gaines.
Mile and heels from Live Oak would be wild. Raider Gaines, anyone else notice after Geno took that first hard hit, he became a lot less mobile, then the line progressively got worse. I hope that he can stay healthy. He had a little bit of a limp, which we were talking about in that game, but you got to be able to protect Geno. There is not a more important player on this roster than Geno Smith. If Geno gets hurt, our season is over.
This is why I love Raider Nation in this chat. I think Rebel just made the deal for you.
They get... I mean, 69 bangs. If we get 69 bangs on Thursday, I will eat Taco Bell. Dude, I am nervous though. How much Taco Bell do I have to eat? How much?
I would say you have to do one combo.
What is it just
a number one, one of the numbers.
Okay. I got to get one of the numbers. Fair enough. Fair enough. Blinky. Dude, what do you think is the bigger concern? Your stomach hurting or that's not my concern. My stomach is I'm worried I'm on mile marker 4 and I'm running with my cheeks together. Like,
Then you'll really look like a Chargers fan.
yeah, no doubt. That actually might help then. Because when I used to play baseball, we used to run all the time, right? Like, we used to run every single practice. I was a pitcher.
Louis says do a Lux box. One of the munchie boxes they have.
A Lux box?
You know.
3 Supreme burritos from Fluhy. If we get 69 bangs on Thursday Night Football, I will eat Taco Bell before my 6-mile run this weekend. And whoever the MVP is of the show on Thursday, I will let you pick my Taco Bell order. You will get to pick the beer that we drink, and you get to pick the beer I drink for week 3 and the food we eat for week 3, and you get to pick my Taco Bell order for that day.
Oh, if we hit the goal.
If we hit the goal, correct? Yep. If we hit the goal.
Will you be on Instagram Live during this run/speed walk?
I mean, if you guys wanted me to do an IG live run, I could do it. It's just the way that it would have to go, and again, it's just me being very honest with y'all. If I run, I'm going to have my Beats headphones on. I'm going to play the music that I want to play, and I'm going to go for a jog. I'm not going to be talking. I'm not going to be doing any of that. Now, if I need a break, maybe here and there, but the way I would do it is I would go live on Instagram.
Eat your Taco Bell.
I would eat my Taco Bell, and then I would probably have to stretch, get loosened up a little bit, go for my run, and while I'm running, I'm obviously going to be holding my phone. So what you guys would see would be, yeah, it's Blair Witch Project. And if that's what you want, fine, but.
How about this? Not live, but just Instagram story updates each mile.
If we get 69 bangs on Thursday night, I'll do the whole IG Live. I think that's a very, very fair deal. It's a very, very
Jeremy
fair
Cole,
deal.
Exactly.
What? No, I didn't see what he said. Yep. You can go F yourself, Jeremy. All the Jeremys, you can go F yourself. Every single one of y'all. All right, coming up here next on the show, we're going to get into our Monday Night Football preview here on the Raiders Report. And then we got a $20 duck race to get into.
Angel said I should just be in a golf cart behind you just the whole time.
I mean, how much for you to follow me on one of those scooters?
I'm just worried that I would fall if I'm videoing and scootering at the same time. I don't trust myself.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't want you to do that. That's super unsafe. No, I'm gonna let Jeremy enjoy his off day. I will.
I'll eat Taco Bell.
Jeremy's like, I'll pull up for the bell.
For the bell, dude. They have I don't know when they released it. I don't go to Taco Bell often just because I'm trying to lose a little weight. But I went to Taco Bell a couple months ago, and they have this new salsa. It's like an avocado green sauce or whatever. So good.
Yeah.
It's like this new salsa they have.
I mean, I would, again, if I could figure out a way for somebody to record it, that would be the more ideal way. But, again, I could technically just go live on Instagram.
Would Alex go on a run with you?
No chance. She's not a long-distance runner. She is, we tried to, back in COVID days.
You're like, babe, I need you to film me. I'm going to be in a crop top, and I might shit myself.
I mean, actually, that would make her want to film me. If it was just me going on a jog, no chance. Because we used to try to jog.
She's like, wait, you might shit yourself?
Yeah, in. She's in. There was one time during COVID, Alex and we tried to go on a jog. And, again, at this point, this is about 5 years ago for me.
You can do like Chase does and set the phone up, go back, and then
oh. On those hills that he does?
Every time, just run forward, set it, come back, and then run.
Well, he runs those hills. Running 69 of those hills would be tough. Would be really, really tough. But we tried to do we tried to run during COVID, and I looked at Alex. I'm like, have you jogged before? And she's like, oh yeah, I like to run. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And this is again, I felt like I was in really good shape at this time. I would do long distance running, nothing crazy, but I would go on 4 or 5 mile runs. And Alex and we start, and she takes off like she is Kenyan Olympic runner, and I'm like, oh my God, she's flying. I'm never going to be able to keep up with her at this pace. We're like half a mile in, and she was already walking. She sprinted.
Chubbies will be worn. Chubbies will be worn.
Yeah, what shorts do I have to wear? If you guys won,
I
have my.
He's talking about the old Lakers shorts are basically like the 5-inch inseam chubbies.
I have my 4-inch pineapple chubbies, though. I don't know if they fit me anymore. And I'll tell you this, my pineapple might come out. Because I don't want to wear, sometimes, like, I wear, like, tight shorts when I run just because obviously I don't want stuff moving. But there's a lot going on there. I'll tell you what, it would even match. I don't know if I want to match in this. I'm actually going to have to put something over my nipples, though. My nipples are going to get ruined in this freaking thing.
2 Band-Aids?
Duct tape, 2 Band-Aids, or Alex has nipple covers. She probably won't let me use them, but I'm going to need something to put on my nips. That I know for a fact. All right, y'all. Let's get into this segment here. Monday Night Football.
Let's do a quick breakdown.
Let's actually talk about football, huh? It is what we aim for here on this program.
No, talk about the nips.
Mitch, your 4 inches wild. They are 4-inch inseams. Yes. The chubby shorts, man. Chubby's is wild.
Dude, yeah, I have 1 inch of space for them.
Barely enough room. All right, y'all, let's get into this. This is getting off the rails, man. Off the rails. Coming up, Monday Night Football preview, sponsor Prize Picks, here on the Raiders Report. You ready? Oh, man, what a day today's been. Shout out to the nation for never disappointing. I love y'all to the moon and back. Hope y'all know that. Raider Nation, it's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. Coming up on today's show is going to be our Week 2 Monday night preview against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to be telling you the top players to watch on the offense and the defensive side of the football. And this is going to be a really important game because it's going to be for first place in the AFC West. I will start on the offensive side of the football, and I'll work my way through the defensive side of the football, just essentially giving y'all the most important things to watch for, even some of the matchups that I think that Chip Kelly, Patrick Graham can do their best and take advantage of it. But you know what? I can sit back and I remember all the greatest watch parties that I've ever done, and we've done a ton. My favorite of all time, the timeout to send us to the playoffs and send the Chargers packing. I made a bet with my boss last year that the Raiders would end up beating the Chargers, and you're going to see me running 6 miles this upcoming weekend in this flipping cutoff jersey. You know what? I want to be able to stick it to the 3 Chargers fans out there, and I want to be able to show the entire world how the Raiders Report gets down. We had over 200,000 viewers last week. I want to get to 300,000 viewers for a Monday Night Football game. And if you bleed silver and black, and if you hate the Chargers, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and I want to see you 1 hour before kickoff. We're going balls to the walls, and I hope that you're ready to get the party started. So here we go. Here's what I'm going to be looking for in this matchup from the quarterback position. Can Geno Smith build off of his incredible Week 1 performance? Can he be even better in a dome at home? Fingers crossed, because that's what you're hoping to see. In his 14 starts with the Seattle Seahawks indoors, all of which were on the road, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 110.8. Also, the Raiders, they completed 9 throws of 20-plus yards last week against New England outside in a rainy, shitty game. Mahomes against the Chargers was only able to complete 3 of those passes. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to take advantage of this, and I am really, really trying to push the football down the field because Geno showed that he had 362 yards, a touchdown, 24 of 34, 350-plus passing yards, and a 70% completion percentage. He is one of the only Raiders quarterbacks to do that, and he did it very, very quickly in his season debut. Now, let's talk about the running back position, the guy that I'm wearing on my chest, and I hope that he's able to show not only Raider Nation, definitely hope he's willing to show Chargers fans, but absolutely positively the entire NFL world, because there's been a lot of negative talk around number 2, and not nearly enough attention has been put on this offensive line. So what I really want to see out of Genty is I want him to stay patient. And I do believe that the running lanes will come. And you could even see that there were times in that game last week that there were opportunities, but the field was crappy. It was wet. And I do think that that played a little bit of an impact in this. And I want to see more of the Raiders running through the air. If teams are going to stack the box against you, get Genty out on a wheel route. Throw a screen to him. Let him get the ball in his hands and let him get some open field because it's going to gain some confidence. The Chargers are third in the NFL in terms of running back yards allowed. They allowed 41 last week to the Kansas City Chiefs, so they do have a good defense. Khalil Mack killed us last season. He seems to really do his work the best against the Raiders. I hope that we are able to shut him out this upcoming week. Let's go to the wide receiver position now. And, Jacoby Myers, I think it's going to be a really big week for him. If you end up playing Prize Picks, I'll tell you why I got Jacoby in my lineup. Because if Brock Bowers is, let's say, a little bit limited this week, I am recording this video on Tuesday. So if you see just Bowers is questionable on Wednesday, Thursday, to me, what that means is that Jacoby Myers has got to be a bigger part of the offense. Trey Tucker got to be a bigger part of the offense. Dante Thornton got to be a bigger part of the offense. Jacoby led the team last week with 10 targets, and I kind of anticipate a very similar strategy to that this upcoming week. I want to see more pre-snap motion for Trey Tucker. I think it's going to help us figure out if the Chargers are going zone, if they're going man. Let's get Trey that ball in his hands. And the number one matchup that I really want to see, and I'm really curious to see if Prize Picks gives me a more or less on Dante Thornton Jr., because the matchup that I'm looking at, if I'm Chip Kelly, I want to get our rookie, Dante Thornton Jr., who runs a 4.35 40-yard dash, an elite field stretcher. Let's get him on Tareeb Still. Their cornerback, he's 6'1", but he ran a 4.52. He's a little bit more physical, doesn't have the long field speed. If I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get that matchup, and I'm trying to take a shot down the field because I want to see some of this action. So here's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. I want you to predict the score. Las Vegas Raiders against the Los Angeles Chargers. Let me know. You're about to get it with a YouTube ad break. Scroll on down. Answer this question. I did predict the Raiders to win last week against the New England Patriots, and I'm going to predict that the Raiders get a win here again against the Chargers. Give me the silver and black, 31-30, and a nail-biter, getting a win on Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. Let's go now to the tight end position, and all eyes are going to be on Brock Bowers, and the reason why you subscribe to this channel is I had a source reach out to me and say that Brock is going to be okay with that knee. He might be a little bit limited this upcoming week, but if Brock is out there on the field, he's got to be the main target. He's got to be the focal point of this offense. Where I also am going to say, though, because I mentioned with Jacoby maybe getting some extra reps, I think that you could also potentially see Michael Mayer getting a little bit of a larger role this upcoming week for the Las Vegas Raiders, because, again, if Mayer's going out there, and he did a good job last week, 4 catches, 38 yards. I was really impressed from top to bottom the way that this team looked, but also from a 12 personnel standpoint, I was really impressed on how the Raiders were able to manipulate this offense in 12 personnel. I think it's something that you could see a little bit more this upcoming week against the Chargers. So how do you help out your offensive line? Maybe you get your 2 tight ends on there. Let Jacoby, let Trey Tucker, Dante work on the outside. That's what I'm going to do, because realistically, the reason why we will win or lose this football game this upcoming week, it's going to be on the trenches. It's going to be on the offensive line. It's going to be what happens on the defensive line. And I'm looking at Dylan Parham, Jordan Meredith, Jackson Powers-Johnson, and DJ Glaze. We can't let DJ Glaze get away with an easy one. 4 hurries last week, 4 pressures allowed. The third most hurries and the fourth most pressures allowed the last week, and you know that the Chargers are going to be bringing that pressure. But that's not even me talking about the run blocking standpoint. The Raiders' run blocking was an absolute positive joke. There's a reason why Genty had 44 yards after contact and 38 rushing yards. It's got to be better. Week 1 from a passing standpoint, 14 pressures, 9 hurries, 4 sacks allowed. The Chargers did only have 2 sacks against Kansas City, and they blitzed 59.7% of the time. That was 14th most in the NFL. If the Chargers are able to get pressure and they're only bringing 4, that's going to be a problem for this offense. The offensive line, and I mean this, please, 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 you got to bring your A game this week. I am begging you, bring that A game. Coming up next here on the show, we're going to be looking at what to watch for on the defensive side of the football, because Patrick Graham deserves his flowers. Pete Carroll deserves a lot of flowers. That defense is the reason why we won that football game last week. And we talk a lot about offense here, no doubt about it. But I really think that defense is going to be the reason why we win or lose this game as well. I'll tell you what the defense has got to do, but we did start the show off with offense. Prize Picks, I love getting my picks in, and wait till you see what my lineup is here for this week. And this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I, we make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement. this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Now, I am obviously hoping that I get this one right. And it's a $10 lineup to win $100 if I go 6 for 6. If I go 5 of 6, it's 10 to win 20. If I go 4 of 6, I get $4. You can see up on screen who I'm going more, who I am going less with on PrizePicks. And the reason why that I'm showing you my flex lineup, it's because PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So last week, week 1, Raiders-Patriots, I turned 20 into $40. No matter what, you're going to have a fun time playing on PrizePicks because you're going to be more interested in the game. You're going to be cheering on your players to do better or maybe worse. Bottom line, I love PrizePicks, and I think you guys will too. Coming up next here on the show, let's get to what to watch for on the defensive side of the football because Harbaugh's going to scheme it up. Herbert was absolutely clicking on all cylinders. Then, there's a part of me where you watch that game against Kansas City, and Herbert looked like the quarterback that, can be elite in the league. I want to make Justin Herbert look like the quarterback that I think of when I hear the name Justin Herbert. I don't think of this cold-blooded killer that's going to go out there and win big games. I think of a quarterback that when the lights are the brightest, he turns into this big, butthole gets that tight, and he looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. That's what I want to see, and it starts up front with the defensive end. Max Crosby's got to get home. Tyree Wilson continued to build off that game that he had last week. Malcolm Kuntz also ended up having a sack. But to me, the way that you make Justin Herbert look like the quarterback that doesn't terrify Raider Nation is by getting the pressure, by going out and getting them with 4. And I know that that's kind of what the Raiders' plan was early on in that game against New England, to try to get pressure, bring in 4. I do hope that they end up blitzing a little bit more in this game to help out our defensive ends, but Max Crosby is one of the highest paid defensive ends in the National Football League. I know that he is a dominating player. This has got to be one of those games, though, where you sit back and you go, 98 made a difference. And I want to be able to feel that difference because when 52 was on that other side, every Raider fan was a part of that hurt and that feel when the Raiders traded him away. The Micah Parsons trade kind of brought up all that. But to me, defensive end, got to be able to generate pressure, got to be able to help out in coverage. If we can win with bringing 4 and we can pressure Justin Herbert, we will win this game because confident Justin Herbert compared to not confident Justin Herbert looks a lot like J.J. McCarthy in the first quarter compared to J.J. McCarthy in the fourth quarter. I want to go up against J.J. McCarthy in the fourth quarter. Let's go to defensive tackle next up here on the show, and you're going to see a lot of different moving parts. I do wonder if we're going to see J.J. Pegues this upcoming week, and Pegues was a healthy scratch last week along with Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant, some of the rookies that were unable to go out there. And Thomas Booker, I was very impressed by his first step. I was very impressed by his ability to just generate pressure, even though he didn't get a sack. The only defensive tackle that ended up getting a sack yesterday, on week 1 was Lalu. And I know that Harbaugh, they threw the football a ton. There's a hard part to sit back and I go, I really don't believe that the Chargers are going to be a team that throws the football as much as what they did against Kansas City. At the same time, Los Angeles did lose Rashawn Slater. They were trying to get the ball out quickly. To me, though, they're going to want to run the football. Omarion Hampton only averaged 3.2 yards per carry, 15 carries, 42 yards. They're going to really try to get that game going. They're going to try to bring some of that physicality. I just want the Raiders to be able to match it because if we win in the trenches against Harbaugh, it's really going to throw them into a tizzy. And if you can throw that offense into a tizzy and you get the unconfident Herbert, again, it's going to result in a W. Let's go to the linebacker room. And the linebackers, I thought, for the Raiders, they played their freaking you-know-what's off against New England. Yes, Landon Roberts did suffer an injury. I would love to be able to give you guys an update on that elbow. Unfortunately, though, at the time that I'm recording this video, I still don't have an update on it. So you're going to be looking at Jermaine Pratt, Devin White, and I want to see more out of Jamal Adams. White was phenomenal. I thought Jermaine Pratt played a hell of a football game. I also got to be able to give my flowers to Tommy Eichenberg because, I don't want to say that Eichenberg is better than Landon Roberts. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you have to look at how that Raiders defense played with the Roberts on and off the field. It was better with Roberts off the field. I'm somebody where I'm going to give credit where credit is due. That linebacker room played much better than I initially anticipated. Now, that's better tight ends, less wide receivers, but overall, I look at this matchup against the Chargers, and I anticipate our linebackers are going to get tested against their tight ends, against their running backs. Last week, only 6 total targets from the tight end and running back position. If I'm Pete and I'm Patrick Graham, I'm making sure our linebackers are prepared to go up against their tight ends and their running backs. So I want to know from all of y'all, where will you be watching Monday Night Football? It's a late game, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. I want to know, where are you going to be watching the game? You're going to actually go to the game? If you are, tell me where you're sitting. If you're like, dude, I'm going to be at home watching you, that's what I love to hear. Bottom line is this. If you're not at Allegiant Stadium, there's one place to be and one place only. That's live here with us on the Raiders Report. Let's go to the cornerback position. And the corners, we're going to learn a lot about our secondary this week. And I say that because of how well they threw the football last week. And when you consider the fact that this is a corner room that Kai Blue Kelly, I really actually should probably change this depth chart. Kai Blue should probably go where Darian Porter is. I'll do it next week. That's on me. And Kai Blue, to me, was the best corner that we had against the Patriots. The problem is, when you look at the Chargers receiver room and you look at the Patriots receiver room, I do think that there is a little bit of a difference. Now, there's some inconsistencies with the Chargers, but there is that team that they had the most receiving yards from a wide receiver position. There is not another team in the National Football League where their wide receivers did more damage than the Chargers. In total, 28 targets, 19 catches, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's also from a fantasy football standpoint. I probably should add that in. I expect a ton of nickel, and I really need to see Eric Stokes, Kai Blue Kelly, and I know that he's up there in age, and I know he was born a Raider fan, but we got to be able to figure out how to take Keenan Allen out of that equation, because him and Ladd McConkey are the engine that make that offense move. We can't get burnt deep with Quentin Johnson, and that's kind of where our safeties are going to come in here. And Isaiah Paul-Amal did a really good job in the second half. Jeremy Chin was the lone player that ended up giving up that touchdown. But to me, Isaiah Paul-Amal got to protect the boundary. Chin, we're going to allow him to come up here, and he's going to be physical, and that's where, our safeties were just moving a bunch of guys. I wish I get my guy Lonnie Johnson Jr. I know that he's absolutely dying to get out there on the football field. Will Tristan McCullum be another healthy scratch? That is TBD. But the Chargers did average 12.2 yards per completion, 4th best in the National Football League. The Raiders are number 1 right now, and that's where our safeties need to make sure. We can't get beat deep, and they did a really good job last week against New England. And in today's day and age of football, when you're like the Raiders and you're always trying to stretch the ball down the field, I think the Raiders' offense is kind of like what the NBA is right now. Let's get a bunch of 3s up instead of some 2s. The Chargers' offense also was really trying to stretch the football down the field. If you turn it into a dink and dunk game, I like our chances a lot more. And then special teams, because in an AFC West game, and a game that I know the Raiders are 3.5-point dogs, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people realize, because Raiders-Chargers games just always seem to be close, minus the 63-21 game now that I'm saying that out loud. But Daniel Carlson, he went 2 for 3 in week 1. Got to be perfect this week. I know he missed the 59-yarder. It was a tough field goal, but I expect him in a contract year to sink that one through. A.J. Cole, he was not good in week 1 for his standards. He had 5 punts. 2 of them ended up going to the back of the end zone. He needs to be better in this football game, especially if we end up having to flip the field. You're going to see a lot of Trey Tucker from a punt return standpoint. Dylan Laube looked really good in kick return. Zamir White, hang on to that football. If we do all these things, we will win this game. So our week 2 matchup again, Raiders at home, Monday Night Football, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith. The entire world's going to be watching at Allegiant Stadium. My only question is this: are you going to be a part of the world's largest watch party on YouTube? If the answer to that is yes, I'll see you Monday night, an hour before kickoff. It's going to be electric. Get your popcorn ready. Also, it's Pete Carroll's birthday. Happy 74th birthday to Coach Pete Carroll. All right, man, let's go through some of these super chats. What up, Sir Chai?
It's a doubleheader.
Yeah, and it's a doubleheader, but I'm not going to mention the other team. I actually don't even know who they play. Who do they play?
Bucks.
Ooh, that's 2 really good games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Houston Texans. That's a must-win. Must-win.
Can't go 0-2.
Can't go 0-2. Sir Chai, I can't wait to beat pizza-faced Justin Herbert. I try not to make fun of people who have acne because I still have breakouts from time to time. But there was a time, like a few years ago, man, I used to get really, really bad breakouts. But you know what? He's pizza face this week. What up, Suave? Haven't LOL'd so much in a while. Mitch, how much for a Chugs nut check you live on Thursday?
I wouldn't do that because our kind of, oh, wow.
Nut check.
my thing is, if I'm going to do a punishment on somebody else, I better be ready to receive that, and I'm not ready to receive a nut tap. So if Mitch was going to be punished with a nut tap, I would have to have the same punishment, be ready to be dueled on me, and I do not want that whatsoever.
The only way that I will get nut tapped by Chugs is if, Suave, if you film yourself, throw a tennis ball as high as you can in the air, and it's got to be a direct hit. We used to play that game in college.
Will say,
oh my God,
I
told you it'd be freaking Trace, dude.
If you want to super chat and maybe make this happen, Noah, I have a feeling our Cowboys channel might oblige.
Slap his nuts with the tortilla is wild.
A tortilla nut slap would be wild.
I don't know how. It's probably illegal. Let's go to OtisHeavy.com. That's your first problem. I don't know what you're saying. I mean,
Justin Shorter's already on the.
Yeah, Justin Shorter's already on the 53. That happened, last week when Amari Cooper retired. They had 52 guys on the roster, and then Justin Shorter, he ended up getting promoted. Philip Dorsett was also, I believe, part of the practice squad because they promoted Shorter up to the 53, so they had the open practice squad spot. So then Philip Dorsett ended up joining the practice squad, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that well.
All right.
Sanchez, or are we all caught up?
Oh, yeah, this is the last one.
We will see Crosby versus Alt more or less than last year. I'm actually curious because there was a lot of Chargers fans talking shit that Alt dominated Max, but again, from a box score standpoint, sure, but there was also a lot of phantom holds, which I remember. Max also made some impact plays in the run game. Again, to me, if it's up to me, I'm going to do a rotation of Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson against Joe Alt, and I'm going to try to put Max Crosby on the backup offensive lineman for the Chargers because they don't have Rashawn Slater. And you kind of saw that a lot with the New England Patriots, and they'll go back and forth. They'll mix and match, but Max, the competitor that he is, he's going to want to go up against Alt from time to time. But to me, I want Max Crosby. This is like you ask him, if you're in control on offense and we're playing basketball, you don't want to run ISO on their best defender. You're trying to get your best score on their worst defender. And to me, that's what I'm trying to do with Max. I'm trying to get him on the worst offensive lineman because that's going to be a nightmare matchup, and then you're going to have to double team him. Then if you have to double team him, then we're going to win other matchups. So I get it. It's going to happen, no doubt, but I want Max on the other offensive lineman.
Last chance to get in on the duck race for today.
Yes, sir. I am refreshing my phone. This is your last opportunity to get it in. Let me see who is in. The last name that I have on here is Philip Bogert. So I see Justine Gonzalez in. I see Carlos Comedy in. I see OC Raider in. Ira Jackson, you in. $20 Venmo right now for a chance to win $140 here on the Raiders Report. This is going to be a lot of fun. Again, y'all, today's show, I know it was a little bit different. We got to punish a Patriots fan. I think anytime that you guys show up the way that you do, it's just more reason why we are trying to always go above and beyond in terms of the content that we provide. Here you go, Noah, if you're looking for a nut race. This is a ball buster right here. Final refresh on my phone. Can you add... You want me to type them? You got it. Can you add Night Devil, Richard Kelly, and then do Perez Jr.? Final refresh. Can you add Gary? All right, nobody else. Sorry. A lot of E. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Winner's going home. $180 here on the Raiders Report. $180 on the Raiders Report. Have you ever actually done this before, like these freaking things? It's actually very difficult. I mean, I think at what age should you not do this? Ever. I think it's like from 16 and above. If you can drive a car, you shouldn't be bouncing on one of these.
Buffalo Soldier.
That's my take.
Dreadlock Rasta.
Here we go. This is going to be electric, man. Oh, boy. 15 seconds to go. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. If frickin' who's going to win? Oh, my God. It's Philip Bogert, isn't it? Philip from the back! What a comeback for Philip Bogert.
I just know if Fabian would have won this race.
I was just saying, as long as Fabian and Soldier Man. Spot.
Wow.
Spot. All right, Philip. Where are you at, Philip? Where are you at, Philip? Mr. Bogert. Congrats to you. Mr. Bogert.
Said he was a Buffalo Soldier.
I think we can all agree that Soldier Man and Fabian not winning was good. You guys know I love you, but at some point we got to spread it. Giggity. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Today was an unbelievable show. I had so much fun. Credit to Alper for pumping through those push-ups. Credit to all of y'all for making this, show just so much fun every single day. I will not see you guys tomorrow, which is kind of weird. Unless there's breaking news, then you already know I'll be here. But if you do not know, I am going to be live on Thursday. We're going to have a bunch of deals, so be ready to go. We are also going to be not only live on the Raiders Report, we're also going to be live on our main YouTube channel as well. It's not going to be the same way that we did Monday Night Football. We're just going to be live on both channels. It's going to be really just concentrated on the Raiders Report. So I want to be able to go out. I want to be able to get crazy and wild. The beers are going to be flowing. It's going to be Thursday happy hour. It's a great football game. It's Commanders, Packers. And I'll tell you what, there is a potential for an NFC championship game with that matchup. From Jeremy Chuggs, I guess I'll say from Brett Alper, from the entire Chat Sports gang, appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'll see you guys an hour before kickoff, Thursday Night Football. And if you can't make it then, I better see you Monday Night Football, Raiders-Chargers, here on the Raiders Report.